y'all doing? Y'all come on in here and hit the like button. I'm so excited. We got Milk Bar in the house, y'all. I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be doing a reaction to Candace, the alien White Walker. Who thinks that it's cool to sit here and go after Erica Kirk, because of reasons. Never mind the fact that she can't tell us who the shooter is in her mind that took out, Charlie Kirk. But, no, let's do a whole series on Erica Kirk because somehow this will make her feel better. Candace, I'm going to find out who those kids were that you accused of sending those racial comments and stuff to you that led to you suing your high school. And I'm going to interview them because I get the feeling you lied like hell, but we're going to find out. If anybody knows who those students are, if they're watching, please email me at ladyluckclubllc@yahoo.com because I get the feeling Candace lied like hell. I don't know why. Perhaps it's the recurrent yeast infections that have clotted her brain. Oh, Candace, we're going to drag your ass all over YouTube tonight. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. Y'all ready? This thumbnail is hilarious. Thank y'all so much. Y'all, we're going to bring up Milk Bar. Y'all what? Y'all ready? Let's go. Hi, Milk Bar.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Can you hear you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
you
hear
muted if you talk.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? No?
No, can't hear you. Y'all, we're working on it. Y'all say hey to Nathan in the chat. Why are we here?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello.
Got sound?
Yeah, can you hear me? Seems to be working.
I see it's going backstage. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's weird. Y'all, we're going to get it together.
How's that?
Is there anything? Nothing?
Yeah, hold on.
I can't hear you. You know what? I can put you backstage again and then bring you back if you want.
Yeah, hello.
Let me put you backstage for a second. All right, y'all. Let me get Nathan is gonna wait. You can hear us?
Can you hear me?
Maybe it's me. Oh my God, can you hear me?
Okay, you guys, there is a very strange thing happening right now where a young woman with absolutely zero professional qualifications has been inserted at the top of a charity organization that pulled in over $250 million last year. And the media is telling you that you have no...
Jesus Christ. Candace playing in the background.
Okay, you guys, there is a very strange thing happening right now.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Yes? You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Y'all. Something weird is going on with YouTube. I've had so many emails, even from my mom, saying, we can't see comments, it's stuff being removed. I have no idea what's happening, you all. YouTube, y'all need to get it together. You already pay us, dirt and rocks and sticks. They don't even pay us enough for this headache. How you doing, Milk Bar? How you doing? Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
I started watching so how I operate is I'll start watching something, and when I catch her lying or getting an idea for a video, I'll jump onto that. So a lot of times I barely even make it through like 20 minutes.
Oh man.
So this one immediately I got sidetracked.
Did you? Is it that bad?
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God. I expected it to be horrible because she's going in on Erica Kirk. And last time you came to join us here in the LLC, we kind of touched on this. Her, having this, doing this, all this for PR stunt. She has this animus and venom, for Erica Kirk. And now this is playing out before our eyes. Y'all, we said this last year that it was going to happen. We called it. And now it's happening. And it's like, what? Why? Why do you think she's doing this? Before we get started, why do you think she's doing this?
It was the only, it was always going to end up at this place. Really.
Yeah.
Ever since she got started, there was no doubt that I think we even spoke about this last time I was on, where it was clear that even Candace knew that she couldn't go after the widow soon after Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
She had to bide her time. And so meanwhile, while a bunch of her rabid dogs, her cult followers, were starting to spread slander about like Romanian trafficking and all this crap, Candace was saying, "Oh, I see all this, but I'm ignoring it," because she just knew the optics were bad for her to begin attacking the widow. But it was as soon as Erica Kirk said, "Cut it out, stop."
Yep.
That was it. That was the moment where she was just like, "All right, well, I got to come after you now."
Yeah.
Unfortunately. You'll see with this episode, even just starting it, she's branded this as like this new investigative series. It's just another one of her episodes. It's no different to what she was doing before. She's literally taken a week off, put out this cheesy trailer, but it's exactly she's resuming the exact same programming. This is the tactic she does all the time, where you can see the audience starting to kind of lull back to its medium watching range, and then she'll take a week off, post some crap, hype it, and then it'll go back up, and then start to dip back down, and then she'll just repeat over and over again. So she's aware now that if she attacks Erica Kirk, it'll do well for her viewership. Anyway, that's where we've arrived at now.
Yeah, and his thing, this is what her base wants. She's throwing them this red meat. She's allowed her cult, I call them the candy asses, to overtake her whole platform. And whatever even if she was flat out lying, talking about, I'm going to look into what happened to Charlie Kirk, we're nowhere near that now. It has gone so far left field. She doesn't even speak about the investigation that's going on in the court of law against Tyler Robinson. So much she could be speaking on with that and still get, the viewers and all of this stuff that she's doing. This is all a PR stunt for her. But yet, as opposed to you actually focusing on the court hearings, any allegations related to Tyler Robinson. No, let's go after Erica Kirk now, because in her mind, this is all for craps and giggles. This is fun for her. This is all a show. And I've always said this because I know you watching, Heifer. You do this and then you turn around and say, but yeah, I hope TPUSA can put me on their payroll. They should hire me to be their PR person. Why? Wouldn't your cult be mad at you for that? Aren't they the enemy? You want to be on their payroll, because everything is blamed on the Jews. So why would you want Jewish money, according to Candace? If you're on their payroll, wouldn't that be what you'd be getting? It's the hypocrisy in that. It just goes to show, it highlights the fact that she's doing this as a stunt. It's all a PR thing. And the moment she gets sued or even gets hit with a cease and desist letter, now she's the victim. Now it's, you all don't want us asking questions. No, they're going to sue the crap out of you like the Macrons are doing.
My favorite thing is that she said that there was an assassination hit out on her by the Macron that involved, Israel, and that this was connected to Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Yeah.
She also said that, Charlie Kirk was a time traveler who had agents monitoring him. From X-Men. Yeah, that's right. Like all of this stuff is going on, but yet she's like, oh no, let's put all that aside and let's focus on how Erica Kirk had a typo with this teenage girl that she was helping her with this photo shoot with a Christian that her mum drove her to. That's where we should put our focus on. And that's the thing. You see this all the time. Like literally before Charlie Kirk died, the show was starting to like veer off into crazy. Macron was part of the Stanford experiments, like just cuckoo land that I think even her own audience was starting to get bored with. And then Charlie Kirk's assassination was just a gift from God, to her.
Yeah, for her, yeah.
And that's why she's just like, I'm going to sink my teeth into this, and I'm just going to like just drain it dry. Yep. And so she's vocalized that, that she'll go wherever her audience wants to take her. And in many ways, like you said, her audience is her worst enemy because it is going to end her. It's going to end up with her in court, and she's going to end up getting Alex Jones. And I can't wait for it. I cannot wait.
I know. I'm here for it now. And I know I asked you this last time, we spoke about how you felt about the Macrones filing a lawsuit, but now you see her in the same pattern of behavior with, Erica Kirk and TPUSA and everyone that works there. Now, how do you feel about the idea, the possibility of Erica Kirk suing her? For essentially the same thing. It's the defamation of it all. How do you feel about Erica Kirk and TPUSA filing a lawsuit against her?
I don't know. I mean, it's always look. The last thing you want to do is give her more material. I think we've spoken about that strategy, and the strategy has generally been to deprive her of oxygen. And I think it's true in that everything about this series is entirely geared about trying to get a reaction from Erica Kirk. And so I think the best thing that Erica Kirk can do is to avoid lowering herself to Candace Owens level. I think that's smart. And at the same time, it's like Candace Owens was still under contract. She had a non-disparagement that she was signed to while she was with TPUSA, while she's saying that TPUSA, killed their boss, that they were directly implicated. And she's posting that TPUSA is like a demonic company that people should be retracting their donations from. So, I mean, there is grounds that I think TPUSA can go after her. But in many ways, the last thing you want to do is make this overly public. I mean, if you got a slam dunk case against her, then absolutely go for it. But I think Erica Kirk, she should try and remove herself from this equation as much as she possibly can.
Well, I gotta say before we get started that I was definitely impressed with her ability to ignore the crap out of Candace, because for a while she never even acknowledged her presence here on Earth. I mean, Erica Kirk was not responding. She was absolutely ignoring her, and it just got to a point 2-3 months after Charlie Kirk's assassination where it's like, I even said, Erica Kirk, I hope if you respond, you have an attorney, because this is not going to end. Candace's motive in this is all about the views, likes, subs, and money. And she will do anything and say anything to get it. So if that includes selling her soul to Satan himself, that's what she's willing to do. But if you're going to respond, have an attorney. That way you can put your foot down from day one. But it's Megyn Kelly felt like she had to intervene and set up some meeting. And then next thing you know, Erica Kirk's flying out to Tennessee with one other person. No one knows what really happened in there unless somebody recorded, and we just don't know that. But all of that, and we still end up at the same place. So going out there to Tennessee, having this conversation with her face to face, telling her to stop, leave me alone, leave my name out your mouth, leave my kid's name out your mouth, in so many words, it ended up just giving her that fuel. Any little response, even negative attention for a narcissist like Candace is still attention for her. And so going out to Tennessee achieved nothing. The only thing I can hope is that Erica Kirk did that to be able to say, we in good faith went to her home state, tried to tell her to cut it out, and she didn't. So now we're suing her. Like, that's the only thing I could hope that will come out of Erica Kirk going out of her comfort zone while she's grieving and mourning loss of her husband, the father of her children, to go fly out to Tennessee to have a meeting with this girl and then go back. And it's still, now it's just on steroids. It's like attack Erica on steroids.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's because she can say to the judge, Your Honor, I tried. She didn't listen because this helper kept going. So I hope that's what that comes out of it, because otherwise it was just it's a waste of trip. It's a waste of time, because look where we are. And now she's doing a series.
John, I want to give props to TPUSA though, because I loved when they were saying we're going to do a live stream, all your stuff. And they're like, come on if you want. And she's like, I'm game. name the time, name the place. And they're like, this is the time, this is the place.
Right.
And she was like, I can't do it. I love that they stood their ground.
George said no.
That was awesome. I feel like that was the best thing they've done. Where they're just like, look, if you're here, great. If you're not, no, we're going ahead without you.
Absolutely.
And I kind of wish that I think you're right. I think the Erica sit down was a bad move, unless you're right that it was a legal strategy.
Right.
I do kind of wish they went ahead with that, with that line.
I know. Exactly. We could have all seen it. We would have all been able to hear for ourselves what's being said and exchanged. Candace would have had the golden opportunity to confront all of TPUSA face to face in person. But, narcissists are cowards. So it's idea of her doing that was so far-fetched. And oh no, I can't do that. We can do it virtual though. No, go in person. But yet somehow you found 4.5, 5 hours of your time when they flew out there. Thank you, Megyn Kelly, for doing nothing. You coward. You can't make this up.
I mean, even Megyn Kelly pointed out, it's like, how amazing is it that this widow who's now a single mom to these kids, and a CEO of this massive organization found the time to go and travel to sit down with this psychotic podcaster who's been profiting off her dead husband. I mean, that's incredible. Candace Owens can't spare a few hours to go travel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The irony of it all. So y'all listen, we're gonna get started on this episode. Brace yourselves, people. All right. I guess I got to do a disclaimer.
Yeah, I do. I've probably got about an hour. So just I'll give you a heads up. But yeah.
Well, we will definitely try our best to get through this because I want you to be able to enjoy the full time with us.
See how far we go.
Oh my God. Do I have to speed this up? I always speed her up because she talks so slow. Oh God. Let me speed this up a little bit, you all. And then of course, for the sake of brevity, because we want Milk Bar to enjoy his entire hour with us. So let's get to it. You ready, Milk Bar?
Yeah, let's do it.
Y'all ready in the chat? Put a 1 where you can see and hear. Let's go.
Right now, where a young woman with absolutely zero professional qualifications has been inserted at the top of a charity organization that pulled in over $250 million last year. And the media is telling you that you have no right to know or to ask anything about her. The argument being made is that her husband was murdered. Therefore, she has a right to assume the position. And despite the fact that Turning Point USA is a literal charity, and therefore it's not even have to pay tax on that $250 million+ or pay tax on the alleged future billions that it's due to rake in thanks to a deal with a man named Pierre.
Jesus.
These talking heads are claiming that the public simply wanting to ensure the person who is running that organization is, I don't know, at a bare minimum, moderately honest about who she says she is. No, that inquiry makes you a monster. So I guess your job is to head to work 9 to 5, receive a flurry of unsolicited emails and text messages reminding you that Charlie Kirk, the innocent man that you watched be executed in broad daylight live, you're to be reminded that that was her Charlie. My Charlie needs your help. Here's how you can give us your 401k and house. The emails have been landing into your inbox at an alarming rate, saying things like that. There's virtually nothing that the feds are telling us about his murder that makes any objective sense. But if you're feeling weird about any of that, you're reminded constantly that she is a grieving widow. She's a grieving widow. That sentence, in my opinion, is this year's Trust the Science. She's a grieving widow. The mainstream media, of course, Zionists implied, are effectively telling you to roll up your sleeves and get the vaccine again, dopes. Tyler Robinson did it. Erica Kirk is grieving. Please allow her to do so in the privacy of the $1 billion charity that she took over. Remember when they did the 6 feet social distancing thing? They cast that spell. Let your granddad die alone in the hospital. If you desire to see your grandma this Thanksgiving, it's because you're a demon from the gates of hell. Yeah. Resist your human instincts. Obey the government. It's the same kind of messaging, the same kind of emotional manipulation, but it's a new year. Still have questions or concerns about who Erica Kirk is and why she seems to have lied many times on record? Well, you're Satan, and I'm sorry that you are. And also, I would like to remind you that you are destroying Charlie's legacy. Now, it is very important that I remind you, we haven't even said anything yet. A 2-minute trailer resulted in one of the most aggressive preemptive PR strikes that I have ever seen. They posted photos of my manager's infant daughter, my makeup artist, my family members. Lots of voicemail from my producer. Okay, well, this was initially supposed to be just 3 episodes. Now I'm thinking about a season 2 and a season 3, because if you haven't quite figured me out yet or thought through how we got here, I don't like it when innocent people are targeted and attacked and on rare occasions shot in the neck in broad daylight.
Neither does anyone else. Oh, ye soulless alien from outer space. We don't like that either.
Yeah.
This is oh my God, bro.
Well, I mean, so this is what she does, right? She's continually referring back to COVID because she knows that she can tap that well with her audience to say, hey, you know, because she knows that her audience were all against the COVID response, right?
Right.
And probably the majority of them are unvaccinated. So she continually refers back to that because that's a button she can push to say that somehow Erica Kirk, being the CEO of TPUSA, and that attacking a widow is bad, that somehow that's related to COVID, somehow. But that's the way that she can get that psychological and emotional response to say, like, oh, see, they're trying to stop you questioning that, just like with COVID, where you couldn't question the COVID response, right? You remember that? See, that's what's happening here. There's no relation. Well, I mean, whatsoever.
None.
It's the crazy,
absolutely none.
Two things to try and connect. But this is her like programming type thing that she does with her audience. But the other thing, the thing I want to point out is that somehow Candace Owens and her cult has made it suspicious the fact that Erica Kirk and TPUSA has carried on the organization that was Charlie Kirk's life work. So somehow the fact that TPUSA has gone on to become successful after Charlie Kirk's assassination is suspicious. Not that it's something that Charlie Kirk would have wanted to happen. And somehow Candace Owens, a podcaster who has profited and exploited off the death of this person, that's not suspicious. That what she's doing is perfectly normal. Not the organization carrying on his legacy. That's suspicious.
Right.
But what she's doing, that's perfect. That's perfectly normal. The other thing as well that I want to point out as well is that Candace Owens continually goes back and forth where she somehow says that Erica Kirk is unqualified to be CEO.
Like she can say that. You can't make this up.
She says that Erica Kirk is unqualified, but yet at the same time, she also wants to continually say that TPUSA has been extremely successful after Charlie Kirk's death while Erica Kirk has been CEO, and that is suspicious. So she wants to have her cake and eat it too. It's all of it at once. There's zero consistency.
Exactly. And let's not forget, people, she has said at least twice, she wants to be on their payroll. Okay. She wants them to give her a monthly retainer for PR. This is the same person that wants to work for them again. That was looking forward to, if you believe whatever she says, was looking forward to being reunited with Charlie Kirk on the stage with TPUSA. Right before he died, she was looking forward to that. But now it's, you all should not be giving them contributions. As if they weren't successful and doing well financially before he lost his life. You can't make this up. It's so sinister and vile to sit here, and yet she won't explain how she spent over $500,000 on security with Blexit, or why she ran them in the hole about $1.72 million, or why LLCs connected with Blexit somehow was also connected with Parler Inc. with George Farmer not having a successful company either, because Kanye West didn't buy it at all. So this is the same person saying all this stuff. The hypocrisy is mind-numbing, man.
This is Candace Owens continually says we're just asking questions. Why are people attacking us? I haven't even started this yet. Why are people coming after me? And it's the fact that already leading up to this, back in December 19th, she had Mitch Snow on. This guy who says that he's 100% sure that he saw Erica Kirk on an army base the day before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And the Candace Owens has said that the military is involved in the assassination. She's already said that she wasn't grieving enough as a widow following the days after. That she was grieving too much as a CEO. That she's already said that Erica Kirk was a child groomer. That she's already said that Erica Kirk should be pulled into the police station because Erica Kirk's friend had a feeling that something was going on that then, led to Charlie Kirk's, this made up thing that she pointed out. So it's like, she's not asking questions. She's already made a string of outrageous allegations against Eric Kirk based on no evidence whatsoever. So then when this trailer comes out, it's like, well, you've already drawn your conclusion. This is just a trailer.
Exactly.
Already saying that you're tripling down on it. That's why people are. That's why people are upset, and they're not upset because you're investigating. They're upset because you don't investigate. You just make allegations without evidence. She
doesn't even pronounce words correctly. People, you can't make this up. Candace, how do you pronounce the word BERET? Like, give it a stab in the dark, girl. You can't make this stuff up. This is the same person that says she doesn't know the difference between the number 9 and the letter N. Like, this is what we are. Her asking a question would probably shatter the earth. I think Yellowstone would erupt if she actually could pose a question. The incompetency of it all. And yet, who do you think pulled the trigger on the gun, Candace, again? Yeah, go ahead and tell us that, you dumb alien. This is nonsense. Oh man, this is the last thing you would think that Erica Kirk would want to even have to hear about. It gets to a point where I don't know how she tunes this out in her everyday life, but somehow she has to, because let's not forget, there are 2 children here that hopefully will never ever see or know who Candace Owens Amber Farmer is. Like, hopefully they will grow up and never ever see her video or read any of her posts, and that they will never have to know that this woman existed. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what I'm thinking about. Those 2 kids that are caught up in this nonsense, that do not deserve to have somebody attacking their mother and deceased father relentlessly like this, because reasons. And she wants to be on TPUSA's payroll. So, y'all.
I want to point out, it's like, I have no affiliations with TPUSA. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I wasn't a friend of him. I'm Australian, for goodness sake. I'm not even American. So I have no loyalty to TPUSA or to Charlie Kirk. Yeah, but I have to say,
me either.
It's an absolute credit to Charlie Kirk as a man and as a CEO of a massive organization that you have someone like Candace Owens, this psychotic person who's gone over Charlie Kirk's life with a fine-tooth comb, who's literally like opened the bonnet on his organization and has scrutinized his marriage. And she's had, a bunch of people leaking information and turncoats from his organization, cowardly people who have fed her information. And now we're coming up to what? I mean, he was assassinated in September. It's now February. So
going into March.
Like 6 months. 6 months later.
Exactly.
And she's come up with nothing. She's come up with nothing to be able to actually legitimately attack him on his marriage, on his organization. Nothing. There's nothing there. That's an absolute credit to who Charlie Kirk was as a husband, as a father, and as the builder of this organization. That's incredible. I don't think many people could stand up to that scrutiny with someone like Candace Owens, like looking through their entire life and their entire business dealings.
Right. And she has to lie to make them look bad. This is what she has to do. She has to flat out lie and get hit with cease and desist letters just to make them look bad. It's at the end of the day, hopefully Erica Kirk does sue her and Molly whop her with the floor. But the court, the judge, the jury, they're going to see an entirely different story, a whole different scenario. And there will be sufficient evidence to show Candace has been nothing but defamatory. And defamation is not protected free speech, Candace, because you and your cult members don't know that. So when they get to court, she'll learn the hard way. Just like with the Macron's case, she'll learn the hard way. So let's get back to this, because I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity to sit here and laugh at Candace with us.
No one blinked when entire investigative series and books were written about Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, Meghan Markle, because they're public figures. I've effectively endured 10 years in politics with nonstop exposés and investigations into my background, but we're told Erica is somehow untouchable. Let me tell you something. The truth does not require a multi-million-dollar PR campaign. It also does not fear inspection. So welcome to Bride of Charlie.
Oh, God.
We have nothing to hide.
Where should we begin in the story? I think maybe with just a blanket statement. Something is not right with Erica Kirk. And despite a most aggressive influence campaign, which at one point even included a signed letter from the Secretary of Treasury assuring us that Turning Point is above board, an amazing organization, and despite, in addition to that, a flurry of homosexual men making over dramatic videos about sheer evil, no, not mass murdering children, sheer evil, investigating someone at the helm of a billion-dollar company. Despite all of that, the public remains unconvinced that she is simply a grieving widow, because she isn't simply a grieving widow. She's also the CEO and chairman.
Who are these homosexual men?
Sorry, during our preparation.
Can we talk about George Farmer? Let me tell you something.
You talk about Milo, her little pit bull.
Okay, or Catholic priest. Because she's Catholic. Let's not gloss over all the evidence of Catholic priests being homosexual and abusing kids. You can't. This is girl.
I know. She wants to go on about
boy,
Israel.
Candace.
Israel, but why don't you talk about the Vatican?
Oh my God. Thank you. Let's start with them. Like, we're not gonna overlook centuries of Catholic priests doing this to kids, but yet she sits here and gloats and touts. I can guarantee you, Candace would never leave her children with her Catholic priest alone. That will never happen, because there's no way you could deny the Catholic priests have done far worse than most of the people she's trying to name and accuse of doing anything wrong with TPUSA. And mind you all, no one has been arrested because Candace has done a video or asked a question. There's no legal consequence that anyone has suffered because she put out a hit piece on anything and actually produced any evidence to prove that someone has done something illegal. No one has gone to jail or been arrested because of Candace Owens. And it's not going to happen. This is mind-numbing. Okay. All right, come on, you evil White Walker.
For this series, an investigative journalist named Elizabeth Lane went viral on X because what she authored about Erica was brilliant. It just was objectively brilliant. It gave voice to what millions of people worldwide were feeling, but didn't exactly know how to express. And I'm going to read you her words in their entirety because I think it's very important, okay? Elizabeth Lane wrote, I'm going to be blunt. I have reached...
What'd you say? Do you know who Elizabeth Lane is? No, I don't. Who is she?
This is this Georgian Putin puppet who she gave an interview. She gave an interview with Tucker Carlson a couple months back, and she had no following whatsoever. And it's one of the cringiest interviews I've ever seen, where she literally sits down and she's like, what is love? What is love to Tucker Carlson? And she's like psychoanalyzing Dan Crenshaw, saying like, oh, he was like hurt as a child and that's why he's lashing it, blah, blah. Anyway, so I mean, she's going to read out this full long post that's literally just like psychobabble with this Putin puppet who's attempting to psychoanalyze Erica Kirk. Now, the fun thing to do with this is literally replace Erica Kirk with Candace Owens, because she attempts to diagnose Erica Kirk as a psychopath, and literally everything she says here is 1,000 times more appropriate with Candace Owens.
Oh, okay. So we'll do that. We'll just pretend every time we see Erica Kirk, we see Candace the alien's name in here, because she admitted to being an alien at least.
Yeah, but strap in. This is a long, dull.
Oh God. All right. Y'all ready? We're going to get through this. Hold your breath.
To the point where I find Erica Kirk to be deeply disturbing, not because of rumors or gossip, but because of consistent, observable patterns of behavior. To be clear, everything I say in this post is my opinion. I am not claiming this as a fact. I am saying this is what I think Erica Kirk is. I come from the world of acting and modeling. I have spent years around social climbers, opportunists, image curators, and people who treat relationships like ladders. That is why I left that world. Most of these people are shallow and harmless. A few are dangerous. Erica falls into the latter category, not because she is just ambitious, but because of how calculated and performative her ambition appears to be. I believe she may be a psychopath. What stands out immediately is the reaction that she provokes in other people, which is very common with psychopaths. Across the board, including people who support her publicly, the private reaction is the same. It's, I can't watch her. It's not a criticism. It's just a physical discomfort. People turn off interviews because the presentation feels artificial to the point of being unbearable. Let me explain. That kind of response does not happen accidentally and does not happen often. Research in psychology shows that humans are highly sensitive to emotional incongruence, mismatches between a facial expression, tone, and content. When the effect appears simulated rather than genuine, the brain registers it as a threat. This activates discomfort and avoidance, even if the person cannot consciously explain why. So many of us felt this way, but we could not explain why we could not watch her. Studies on psychopathy, particularly those building on the work of psychologists like Robert Hare, describe traits such as a rehearsed emotional display and shallow affect. These traits can create what observers experience as an uncanny interpersonal dynamic. The discomfort arises.
I'm sorry, did y'all hear that? Psychopathy. Candace, you still haven't learned how to read out here.
And people want to shut it off because most people rarely encounter extreme effective mimicry in everyday life. So the brain struggles to categorize what it is detecting. Erica is attractive enough, and she had every tool in her possession to sell this organically, except for one thing: emotion. The entire story of what happened could have helped her sell this fully. She really would have been the last person on earth to be a suspect, if not for the FBI's terrible mistakes, Turning Point USA's lies, and her very fake performance. Plenty of attractive, ambitious women move through media spaces without triggering that response, even though we know what they are. This is about something else, an extreme disconnect between presentation that she puts out and the perceived authenticity. Erica is not the archetype of a model actress seeking money and fame and then settling into a quiet life with a wealthy, good-looking husband. She is the wolf type who wants to be in the place of that husband. She is not born for a supporting role. She's a decision maker. She appears to pursue proximity to power, moving fluidly between television, nonprofits, branding opportunities, and ideological spaces that maximize her exposure. Her previous partners are guys that women like her would date. Muscular Jack.
What'd you say?
Who does that sound like?
Yeah, that sounds like Candace. Candace, is George gonna come out the closet and demand that you make him a sandwich? How's this gonna go?
Can I also point out that it's been years now that Candace Owens has been saying that psychology is like a Jewish, discredited way of like child grooming. Yet here she reads this post that's pure psychobabble.
From someone that's not licensed, accredited to even speak on these things, and she says psychopathy.
No, she's a model.
This woman is a model. Candace, where's she in a music video? Candace was in a rap music video, you all. She wanted to be in Hollywood. You can't. This is exactly what Candace is to a T. While she says words like psychopathy, not psychopathy. Candace, you're an idiot.
Good looking, even though they are not people with huge potential. They're all somewhat established. They are good stepping stones until the right person shows up. Now looking at her previous partners, I would say that Charlie probably was not her type visually, but he was exactly what she was looking for in a man: potential to be a great power. What Erica was looking for is the same thing Hillary Clinton was looking for when she met Bill. She recognized that Bill Clinton was her ticket to power, the power that she could control, and she was right. She realized that she could create a great brand out of him and herself, and they still are a brand, the Clintons. No one in this world can say that those two love each other. They are a brand that works. That's why she's sticking around despite Epstein and Lewinsky. Also, if you think Bill is the decision maker there, you must have never been in close proximity to the Clintons. She moves the game. She is the decision maker. Erica saw a brand with Charlie. She also saw that Charlie could one day become president of the United States if he wanted to. Charlie had the ear of the most powerful segment of any society, students. He was going to be a very important player in politics, and she was not missing that ride. What is striking is how completely her public identity reshapes itself after that relationship begins. The aesthetic, the tone, the values, the presentation all change. Overnight, the persona shifts into the role that best suits Charlie's world: devoted Christian, modest, a supportive housewife. That kind of rapid adaptation is quite impressive for a usual person, but not for a psychopath because they do it all the time. In my head, the story goes like this. For a moment, it works. She becomes the wife of a rising political figure with access to donors, institutions, and national platforms. At that point, the ceiling isn't social media influence. It's empire building, foundations, global reach, a legacy, a brand, the Kirks. It's obvious that Charlie listens to her, whether it's about donors or the trajectory of Turning Point USA. The most influential figure in any mentally healthy man's life is going to be his wife. She's going to be the biggest influence, and that is just how it is. That is why you need to pick your partner wisely.
Healthy.
And everything was going well until Charlie began making decisions based on conscience rather than expansion and money. He turns down money. He refuses to play dirty politics. I am assuming someone like Erica, who married into this because she had a vision for this brand, would not be very happy about that. The life she appears to have signed up for, the power couple, expanding influence, historical relevance, was collapsing into something else entirely. Yeah. Domesticity, housewife, kids, and now Charlie refusing to accept the money that can make him a global power. A supporting role instead of center stage is not her thing. Her husband died a few days ago, and she walks onto the stage as if she was born there. It comes naturally to her. She knows it and she wants it. Just days after her husband's death, she was already laying out ambitious plans for the company over Zoom. It's obvious she was always deeply involved in the business and knew exactly where to pick up when her turn came. What people struggle to watch, what makes the screen unbearable, is not grief. It's the absence of emotional continuity. Performances can be learned. Trust me, as a former actress, I can speak to that. But emotion cannot be improvised or mimicked if you've never experienced it. That's why I think we are dealing with a psychopath who has never really experienced these emotions and does not know how to play them. And audiences feel it instantly. It's fake. Again, this is just my opinion.
This is so dumb.
Good place to start. It is
dumb.
a good place to
Candace, this is so stupid. It's like they're handling this like Erica Kirk has been married 5 times and all of her husbands have been publicly assassinated, and she should know exactly how to feel, whatever that defines to be day by day. They refuse to remember that she has the free will to grieve however she needs to, because that's not normal. You don't see public assassinations happening every day. So to say that her grieving process is not valid because she's not acting the way we think she should be acting because her husband was publicly assassinated. Well, Candace will so far can't say that at all. And I hope she never is able to say my husband was publicly assassinated. She does not even have to tell her kids, your daddy's never coming home.
Yeah.
You got these morons sitting here leaving 13 pages of nonsense. My God.
I've done a video where, Candace is criticizing her because she says she's too emotional to be CEO. And then she plays a leaked video call, voice call where she's saying, look, she's not emotional enough as a widow. And it's just like she can't win. There's no way that she can win. If she's too emotional, then she's unfit to be CEO. If she's not emotional enough, then it proves that she never loved Charlie Kirk. I love this. I love in this post, she goes on this tangent where she's like, Erica Kirk mustn't have been happy with the direction that Charlie Kirk was going. And she says it like Charlie Kirk was giving up all his money and becoming like a missionary in Africa. And it's like, I was like, when did this happen? And the guy was still head of TP. He was like, I'm sorry, I missed that with the point where he was, becoming like a pauper. Like, as far as I was aware, he was still the head of an extremely successful organization. He was standing by his convictions to have Tucker speak, which led to some donors pulling some donations. But that's all that I could see. As far as I'm still hearing rumors that there was agreement that he was going to be running on the ticket for the Republican VP nomination in like 2 cycles time. So this idea that Erica Kirk wasn't happy with the direction that Charlie Kirk was taking their life makes zero sense. But it's thrown in there because they just want to kind of softly implicate that Erica Kirk was involved in the assassination. She wasn't happy with the way things were going. But it's stupid.
It's so crazy. It is. And it's like you can't say what was going on in their marriage. You weren't in their household. Candace does not pay her mortgage. She does not have to take care of Erica Kirk or those 2 children. She doesn't have to pay her bills or feed them or clothe them or anything. She is literally a non-factor in the life of Erica Kirk and those 2 kids. None. Like I said, I hope that these 2 kids grow up and never learn who Candace Owens is. It would be best if they never, ever know that she walked this earth and exists. Period. Like, that is so crazy. You can't speak for what was going on in their house because you weren't there. As much as you want to be Candace, because we all know you were in love with Charlie Kirk. As much as you wanted to be the ace boom boom, you weren't. He didn't pick you. It's all jealousy and envy as if she knew exactly what was going on in their marriage. And yet she can't produce one post to show that her and Charlie Kirk had anything going, any conversation or a semblance of a friendship happening at least 1 year prior to his death. If they unfriended each other, that goes to show how much communication was even transferred between Charlie Kirk and Candace. They weren't even talking.
Yeah, so, there was do you see that where she was analyzing the night before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, what was going on at their house? You know, where she was saying that
Oh,
their toddler woke up at 2:45 a.m. in the morning. That's strange.
The baby.
That must be the toddler woke up because they were fighting. And then Charlie Kirk had to get up at 6 o'clock. You know, so Erica, you know, said that you should go back to bed and I'll take the kid, but he slept in the kid's bed. I mean, that's really like all this kind of stuff where it's like, this just shows that you are in a loveless marriage. And
right.
You have a nanny, that you do not take care of your own kids. I mean, it really just exposed her as an ice cold psychopath.
Exactly. Is it George? Wave the white flag if you need help. It's okay to come out the closet.
I mean, like my wife and I have got a 3-year-old, so the same age as the Kirk's kid. And it's like there's nothing odd at all in the way that she was explaining it, and it just proved that I mean you're the one who's actually you're not human.
And she said it herself. You know, I feel like I've been a bad mother and neglected my kids because I've been crying so much. I'm sorry. At some point, your husband should be intervening and saying, why are you still obsessing over another woman's deceased husband? At some point, you've got to get back to pretending to be George Farmer's wife. Because what in the world? No one should be obsessing this much. But this is her words out of her mouth. She's the one that says she's absolutely obsessed with this. So that lets you know her state of mind right there. Whatever obsession looks like to Candace, it is what it is. But it seems to be, it's going into this danger zone where I don't put it past Candace, where she will not do something harmful to Erica Kirk and these kids. If that's what her cult members want, and they get dark and sinister, evil involved, even worse than they already are, I don't put it past her to go and do something to Erica Kirk, and I'm saying it. So I know.
Like you had the guy who was killed at Mar-a-Lago, you know, because he believes that Trump was, you know, is like protecting all this child abuse and everything because he's born to this hysteria. It's the same thing. I think that's the important thing to point out. Like Candace Owens is a psychopath. Like that's clear. There's no way that Candace Owens will ever change. But the real danger and the most disturbing part of all of this is how big her audience is and how rabid they are at following her and completely detached from reality. I mean, that's the scary thing. That's the thing that can have real life consequences where people actually can get hurt.
Yep, absolutely. So let's get back to this because I definitely want to, you know, make sure you're able to oh Lord, God, y'all let me know how if you I understand if you gotta go, but this is crazy, Candace. This is horrible of you.
Start because there are a lot of things that Elizabeth said there that I think I am going to be able to prove.
No one cares about it.
Adapting her personality to suit the people that she meets, the lies that she tells. I've done a lot of work here speaking to ex-boyfriends, speaking to old classmates. I really wanted to get a sense of who Erica was. And also, in a word, yes, I concur. There is something about her. I don't know any single personality in the media or politics that has had the same effect that Erica has had on people worldwide. She's a rare bird, okay? She has actually managed to unify the left and the right on a single perspective. Think about that, how amazing that is. Say what you will about Hillary Clinton, but she had a true following on the left, right? It was a bloody match back in 2016.
What?
Now, beyond Erica, what Elizabeth is diving into here is psychology, right? She's guessing and she's speaking about psychology, a social science that was created,
she's not
to
a
be very clear, by German mystical Jews, right? They believed in mystical Judaism. They were practicing the occult. Now, if you are a regular viewer of this show, you know that I have sort of obsessed myself with this history over the past 2 years, the books that we read in book club, all about the very dark history of modern psychology and its direct relationship to child abuse, trauma-based mind control. That's what the book, The Assault on Truth, lays out. This person wasn't just an author that was guessing when he wrote this book. He was in control of the Sigmund Freud archives and lost his entire career just trying to ring the alarm on what these scientists knew. He explains that they abuse children with the goal of transforming them into future psychopaths that can be controlled. That is the science that was brought here to America via Operation Paperclip. What began as Project Monarch in Germany ultimately became MK Ultra in America. The Manson murders, the 60s, all of that was our government, CIA gone wild after the assassination of JFK. For drugging and experimenting upon citizens with the explicit goal of control.
This is as far as I got because it was the video I started to make.
Oh my God.
Just think about the moves. Think about the moves that she just did there, right? And this
It's
is what
the
she's
mental
really,
gymnastics
really
of it
good
all.
at.
Yeah.
She starts with like Erica Kirk. I'm gonna read this post from this Georgian model who is psychoanalyzing Erica Kirk. I'm gonna read this post and I'm gonna say, look how accurate this is. This psychological analysis of Erica Kirk. And then she then goes from, so this psychoanalysis is brilliant, to then psychology. Now psychology is evil. Yet she just agreed with the psychoanalysis. Then she then goes to, but psychology is evil and is involved with child grooming and Jews.
Right.
From there, we're going to go from psychology, a science that started like late 1800s, to then Operation Paperclip, which was about Nazi scientists that came to America in the mid 1940s, post World War II, and that somehow that's connected to psychology and coming to America, this new science, to then Project Monarch, this rubbish conspiracy theory, to like MK Ultra, to it's like there's so many steps here where it's like, how do you get there from praising this post that's psychoanalyzing Erica Kirk?
Exactly. It's someone who's not a psychologist, because she's not licensed or certified to be a psychologist. It comes down to, what is the point? What is the point? It's crazy how she couldn't come up with this on her own. That's what I'm wondering. Candace, I thought this was all about you doing something. You're taking information and nonsense from someone else, and then you're building an entire show around this other person's post because you weren't smart enough to even come up with all this crap yourself. And yet, when you talk about psychology, you compare it to, some MK Ultra Nazi Germany experiment. Either you agree that psychology is real or not. I mean,
well, is psychology good or bad? And that's the thing. It's like Candace Owens' whole entire premise, pretty much since she started her new show back in 2024, was that psychology is bad because it's created by Jews and linked to child abuse. But yet in this post, she begins with saying, look, I'm going to praise this psychoanalysis. But that's where, this is how she operates. She wants to get to this dot here, where she wants to infer that Erica Kirk is somehow part of MK Ultra program. So then she needs to then somehow connect it with like psychology. It doesn't matter that she begins with praising psychology and then immediately contradicts herself. It doesn't matter. She'll keep moving fast enough that the audience doesn't actually, they're not paying attention, they're not going to question her, so they just go along with it. So then they're like, okay, cool, all right, we're back onto the MK Ultra thing that we always do. Great. Eric Kirk is involved in MK Ultra. Cool, go Candace,
Yep. And they hear the trigger words, the buzzwords, That's why I keep calling their cult leader an alien, because that's what they go on. They'll hear me. I can read some facts that I research and pull up, but the moment I say Candace is an alien, then that's when they go crazy in the chat, and then they still misspell her name. So this is what her cult base look for. They hear those trigger buzzwords. It's that mental gymnastics. And because she's not thinking twice about any of this crap she's saying, because it's pre-scripted and pre-recorded, they don't think about it at all. They don't even want to think that deep and hard. Most of them can't spell psychology. And this is what they yearn from her. It's so, this is so invigorating. She's so smart. Yet she can't tell you the difference between the letter N and the number 9. So her base feeds her this nonsense, and she just gives it right back to them. And in their world, it doesn't have to make sense. But yet they get mad at us for clowning her out about it. It's just, you're sitting here just throwing out trigger words and red meat to your base. Nobody's reading anything. She's not reading a book. She's probably listening to the summary of it. That's
she ain't
reading anything.
No, she's got her 3 books, and that's partly why
that's all she reads. 3 books.
Because she's got her 3 books, and literally everything can conform to those 3. She's like a child. Like a child reads one thing, and then like everything is related to that one thing. That's what she's like, because she's so because she's not well read at all. So, so her entire, like, she has this universe that she's created now with her audience where everything is connected to the book Chaos, the book Assault on Truth that she just mentioned, Assault on Truth, where she always has a pre-programmed talking point. The guy who wrote Assault on Truth was the head of the Freud archive, who was fired because he discovered that Freud was hiding child abuse. He was fired because he started attacking Freud, and the people collectively said that the guy completely went off base from what is actually true about Freud. But that doesn't matter,
Never mind it.
And then it's like, what is it? It's like Hollywood Babylon, and then it's like Sigmund Freud and like Jewish mysticism. That's it.
Right.
That's all she's read. And so everything can just apply to that. Erica Kirk, Brigitte Macron, it's all, we can all just find a way to plug in these pre-programmed talking points that our audience, is already well aware of.
Right. And it keeps her from having to learn anything new because, they're not interested in that. She is literally feeding them what they're demanding, the stupidity of it all. This is it. Candace, if I read to you Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss, I mean, are you going to recreate your whole world on that? Maybe we should read Green Eggs and Ham and then see how that goes. Because obviously, if that is her MO in life, this is why she's stuck on stupid. This nonsense here. And oh my God, you said you're homeschooling, Candace. You can't make this up. So these poor kids, are they going to ever learn 3 times 2? This is the extent of her intelligence right here.
Yeah.
Centered around somebody else's post on something that she can't even tell you what she even agrees to when it comes to the world of psychology. She has no stance on that. She doesn't care.
Well, I mean, she's the definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
Where she gets a little bit of information and then she thinks that she's, that knows everything.
Exactly.
And is completely just unaware of how purely ignorant she is. And she's absolutely the kind of person where the only thing that she reads and informs herself on is things that will confirm the thing that she already believes that she knows. She'll never read, Anatomy of Truth and then say, okay, well, what's the criticisms of this?
Right.
What are the things that actually debunk this? And then let's weigh it up. Let's see where we arrive once we've actually, antagonized every argument. She'll never do that. Right. It's entirely just about confirming her bias.
Yep, there you go. I was about to say that. It's the narcissism that just has to have this confirmation bias where it's, I don't care if anyone is critical of it. This is the only way I'm going to see this. This one view, that's it. No thinking outside the box. No expanding my horizons. No, just this confirmation bias of this one thing. And when you're a narcissist, they have to feel like they're the smartest person in the room. So you can imagine everyone else around her in the room, her code base, have to be dumber than her because she has to be the smartest person in the room. So congratulations, Candace. All of you are dumber than Candace Owens. You should be so proud. You can't make this up. Let's get back to it.
Minds, social engineering.
I told you I was going in.
People get into a formation. These are indisputable and historical facts. This brought forth the dawn of serial killers in America. Too many of them with curious ties to the military. Yeah, MKUltra was a military-grade program.
We don't care.
Truthfully, behind every unthinkable crime is a deranged psychologist and a prescription cabinet. If you think that MKUltra ever stopped, I hope that the Epstein files and the stunning defense of the Epstein files from our quote-unquote elites helped to shatter that illusion for you. We discussed MKUltra during the Kamala Chronicles. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is suing me for merely mentioning MKUltra on Tim Dillon's show.
No, they're suing you for lying.
Why is the president of France, who himself is a victim?
It's like I've done compilations where you look at the Becoming Brigitte, and it's nearly every episode. She's inferring that Emmanuel Macron is a Manchurian candidate that was part of the MKUltra program. So she just lies. So she does that. She does the series where over and over again she's inferring that Emmanuel Macron might have been part of the MKUltra program. Then when they sue her and reference that, she then says, "Why are they bringing up MKUltra? I never said that. That's suspicious."
Yeah, it's like, never mind all these videos of you saying these things, Candace, that can be used against you in a court of law. Yeah, keep acting oblivious, Candace. I know that's a hard word for you, but you might want to define the term. or the judge is going to have a field day with her. So will the jury. This is so ridiculous. Oh, man, I just want to observe one court hearing, okay? If I can get a Zoom link, Milk Bar, you and I will listen in on those court hearings. It's going to be awesome.
Of minor sex abuse, so concerned about that conversation being opened up.
Oh.
Independent study into Sigmund Freud and what he and his colleagues were doing in Vienna is crucial for you to understand what is going on in this world and the way that the world works, okay? Now, pivoting back to Erica and her story, I will tell you my personal opinion and my experience with her. What alarms me about Erica isn't so much the fact that she lies, which we will prove to you over and over again, but it's also the fact that I don't know that she's aware that she's lying. It's almost as though she doesn't remember. Like the version that she's telling us today or yesterday was just recently downloaded into her mind.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What does that sound like? She doesn't even remember if she's lying.
She's lying. That's okay, Candace. The jury will have a field day tell you exactly what you lied about when it comes to Macron's. Erica Kirk, girl, if you don't sue her, I don't know what to say. If you gotta sue her, because that's the only way she's gonna only pay attention if you take her to the court of law. Right now, she wants to suck everybody into the court of public opinion. See, certain things just can't be duped out on social media. Certain things you just got to take to the court of law. And that's her nemesis. That's her Achilles heel for Candace. It's the lawsuit. It's the idea that she's being held accountable according to some legal standard. That's her weakness. So sue her. And then tell all the Candy Ass Cult members to kick rocks, because they're probably going to fund her attorney's fees either way. But sue her. And then let the law help her understand what a lie is and why defamation is not protected free speech. Just sue her. At this point, that's all you can do, because this is ridiculous.
Thinks it's true, like a faulty memory or something. I'm saying that I'm not sure if she's fully aware that she's lying, because it's like some of the lies are so stupid. She's just sort of going.
Prove it in court.
I want you to also know, by the way, of course, we reached out ahead of this episode. We reached out to her specifically with just 4 questions pertaining to past statements that she's made that do not appear to align with the reality of what we have discovered. Okay. For example, here's just one example. We are told that Erica Frantzwey was raised by a strong, independent, entrepreneurial single mother who taught her how to be a good Christian, a devout Catholic mother. Lori Frantzwey, right? As an aside, that this Catholic mom, who am I to judge Catholics, but she's been married 4 times that I can see. We'll talk about that more down the line. More importantly, though, you will recall that Erica sat down for an in-person interview with the New York Times days after Charlie was publicly assassinated, and she confirmed to them that the least traumatizing part about Charlie's assassination was the prospect of her now having to raise her children alone. She wasn't traumatized by that idea because she had seen the example set for her by her mother growing up. As People magazine later echoed, quote, Erica Kirk has learned a lot from her mother, Lori Frantzwey. After welcoming her daughter in November of 1988, Frantzwey divorced Erica's father, Kent Frantzwey, and raised her as a single mother in Scottsdale, Arizona. Lori spent nearly 2 decades working for General Electric before founding multiple companies in the network security industry, according to her LinkedIn. So you can see they're seeding the public with the idea that you can raise kids and be a single mom and also be a CEO. And
she acts as if Erica Kirk could control her parents' marriage. People get divorced. People end up having to raise their kids alone. It happens. Why is this somehow, being Erica Kirk catching the blame for what her parents went through? What are you talking about? And yet her mother turns out to be successful and have these companies. And oh no, how dare you get divorced and raise your kids as a single mother and actually make something of yourself? How dare you? Like what are we doing?
And what she's doing is that she's saying, look, Erica Kirk is a feminist. She's saying that she can be a single mom now, after Charlie Kirk died. See, look at her. She's trying to program the world to say that it's okay to be a single mom.
What the heck? I mean, mother didn't have a choice. Some people probably want to get remarried and they just don't. It may not ever happen again. But should life come to a halt because you have to raise your kids as a single parent? The fact that her mother became successful somehow goes over her head. What in the world? And she's married 4 times. Candace, so what? You're in a lavender marriage, allegedly. So what's the difference? I don't get it. You can't, man, this is beyond me. There's no point to this. She's just trying to, like I said, she's got to say the worst of the worst to make her look bad. Not that she has any evidence that proves that she's done anything illegal. Let's keep that in mind. None of this is illegal.
It's just character assassination. That's entirely all that she's doing.
Plain and simple. Oh,
boss babe it. Okay. The only problem is that it's just not true. Erica was not raised by a single mother, like at all. Erica's father, Kent Ronsfay, by the way, he's Kenneth Ronsfay, but he goes by Kent, was always in her life. So much so that for entire years of her childhood, Kent was actually a stay-at-home dad. So almost the exact opposite thing was true at one point. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can actually take Erica's. Take a listen.
Here.
Hold on. I do not want to knock the stay-at-home dads. I do not. There are some who had to temporarily have to switch that role. That happened to my parents a long time ago. Granted, again, they got a divorce, so that probably falls into your bucket. But
I am an anthropologist.
But my dad was a stay-at-home dad for a few years. And I got to say, it was really sweet and really special. I was 4, but that was...
Of course, it's not an indictment of the morality.
No, but if you're saying from the get-go, I want to be a stay-at-home
It is a imbalance. It's an imbalance of nature.
So stay-at-home dad for a couple of years. She remembers it. So I would assume started at 4 for a couple of years. People don't typically remember being 1 and 2.
It's not her fault.
And now he wasn't in her life. To be clear, Erica was 10 years old when her parents divorced in 1998. So her father was very much a part of her early childhood, and he did not stop being involved in her teenage years either. I've spoken with classmates, past boyfriends, and people are generally bewildered as to why Erica is now publicly representing as though she does not have a relationship with Kent, the man that she claims is her father, at least. Or also something she fails to mention is that even if you removed Kent, Erica was raised with her stepfather in her home.
She never said that she did not have her father in her life. When you think of single parent, your parents are unmarried. You're more so thinking of, on average, who you're spending predominantly the most time with. Who would be the custodial parent, who you're physically living with here. But that's not to say that she did not have a father in her life. This is so absurd.
Like her parents divorced when she was 10. So I assume that she went to live with her mum. So I mean, what I'm gathering from this is that Eric Kirk is saying, like, my mum had a great impression on my life. She wasn't with my dad. She helped to raise me, and that really left a mark. And then Candace is like, oh, but what? But your dad was a stay-at-home dad when you were 4. So you must be. Why are you lying?
Yeah, but what's so crazy?
There is no lie here. There is no contradiction.
It's no lie. Exactly. She's not saying that she never saw her dad or didn't have her dad in her life. What I find baffling is, Candace, when are you going to tell us where your parents were during your childhood? Because you don't talk about your past life at all, if anything. And all you've done so far is lie about your education. Because she claims she has 2 degrees, to which she has not proven. But yet somehow she wasn't raised by her mommy and daddy. And yet, are we supposed to? So now we're supposed to think that she's going to be deformed? What? There's no purpose to this, especially when your background is not squeaky clean, Candace. You weren't raised solely by your parents. Where was your mom and daddy at? This is crazy.
I mean, all she's doing is,
oh my God.
She literally segued from MK Ultra to now what she's trying to do is say Erica Kirk is lying about her childhood, to then be able to move towards painting a picture that somehow Erica Kirk is involved in shadowy government.
I know, right? MK Ultra, single parenting, divorce. Y'all hear this? All these things line up somehow.
I don't get it. You had a mom. You had a mom. You talk about your mom, but you also had a dad. So what's that?
Right.
What's that with? Why are you lying?
Right. But Candace lied twice on her show about having 2 degrees. She said she went back to school and got 2 degrees after dropping out. She said that in her shows, and I've done videos on that. You can't make this stuff up. So Candace, when you are ready to tell us about your parents, then we'll pay some of that any attention. But as for now, we don't give a damn about the point you think you've proven.
a man named Larry Ginta. In her high school yearbook, actually, Kent is included, her father, biological father, in a collage. And so are his parents, her grandparents, Carl and Elaine. So we can reasonably assume that her father was in her life. We can also assume from that photo that Erica was exceedingly close to her stepfather too. You can bring that back up and I'll show that. But he's featured there too. You've got Larry in the photo because he has been a fixture in her life since before her parents' divorce was ever finalized. Because both he and his son are also in the collage. I confirmed with classmates Larry and Lori were together since Erica's elementary school days. In other words, Erica grew up in a situation that is now termed as a bonus dad. Both her biological father and her stepfather figure were present and all living in and around the Scottsdale area. So why this little public misrepresentation?
Oh, no.
I would be super offended if I was a stay-at-home dad. And then suddenly you've got someone saying, I was all alone. My mom did it all by herself. Now you will see throughout this investigation that there are a lot of little wrinkles like this in Erica's story. The question is,
Candace.
what broader purpose do they serve? Because I thought about that, and I remember reading in Xavier Poussard's book, Becoming Brigitte, that it is actually an intentional strategy of deception, a strategy used by the media in creating and curating a legend about, in this case, he was talking about Brigitte, how the press would intentionally make minor edits or overlook certain dates, small adjustments made over a long period of time, a date wrong here.
Can we bring that up and focus on how Candace lied about having 2 degrees to which she can't prove? You can't make this up. Candace, when are you going to show us either of those degrees that you earned in journalism and English? This is what she said out of her mouth twice. So it's funny how that keeps being skewed about her educational background, to which she can't prove she's actually obtained 2 degrees. I just want to see one. Why aren't the degrees posted up there on the wall? When you think that someone that claims to be, some journalist of some sort who obtained a journalism degree, a degree in journalism, wouldn't that degree be hanging on the back wall? You're a narcissist, Candace. Wouldn't you take the opportunity to gloat on your education? Where are those degrees at? I'm just saying, who's going to reach out to her college to see if she actually got 2 degrees? Give me one, and I want proof. Candace, we'll wait.
An age miscalculation there, just ever so slightly.
Parents are nowhere.
These minor tweaks over a long period of time aren't noticeable, even though they ultimately amount to a big lie. This is exactly what I have found to be immediately frustrating about examining Erica's life. Minor tweaks that almost look like they could be mistakes.
Can't make this up.
And you go, but really? Do people make these kinds of mistakes? Let's start with her birthday. Okay, I'll give you another example here. Erica Franz Faye, we are told, was born on November 20th, 1988 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Great. There's a newspaper relic announcing her birth 2 weeks later on December 6th. It tells us that she was born at Good Samaritan Hospital.
We don't care.
Fantastic. To Kent and Lori Franz Faye. Check. Amazing. By the way, it's just something to know about Good Samaritan Hospital. A little fun fact. That actually used to be the U.S. Marines Hospital. One that once upon a time caused a little bit of a scandal for unethically experimenting on the brains of patients. Anyway, the story goes that the U.S. Marine Hospital just up and decided to gift the hospital to the Catholic Sisters of Charity out of the goodness of their Marine hearts or something.
Hospital she was born
because our military is known for that, just being really, really kind and giving up.
Yeah,
hospitals.
you stick to your script.
Point is, we learned from this newspaper clipping that Erica was born on November 20th, and she maintains that birthday today. But oddly, that would be news to her parents. Kent and Lori, for whatever reason, think that Erica was born 2 days later on November 22nd. We know this because of their divorce filings, which took place in 1998. On that divorce initial filing, Lori, who filed, lists Erica as having been born on November 22nd, multiple times. Now, in case you're thinking, well, maybe this was a mistake, you should know that the filing done by her mother, Lori, only has 4 statements of fact. It's effectively a one-pager.
Candace,
one of the facts is that Kent and Lori were married on November 20th, 1995 in Marblehead, Massachusetts. So they decided to get married on
is this divorce documents? What is this? Candace, you should not be showing these custody documents, especially if she was a minor. What the heck is going on? Look at this. You got minor kids been named in these documents. Oh my God.
What would have been Erica's 7th birthday? Okay, that's strange. I mean, at least the birthday she says she has.
Erica better sue her.
This document is saying, no, she's born 2 days later. So I guess it wasn't her 7th birthday. Attached to this document, which was filed on July 20th, 1998, is another document but I can only assume was scanned in with an intention to further confuse people. It's a separation agreement, which is not notarized. It's not dated. So it's almost not relevant. And it completely edits the date of the marriage between Kent and Lori from November 20th, 1995 down to November 7th, 1982. A casual 13 years and 13 days wiped out. Okay. Like I said, you can just ignore that because I think that document was just put in there to confuse people. Take it from me. I'm a notary, one in the state of New York, although my license is expired. You can't just skip over a notary portion of a document and just be fine with that. In fact, we decided to dig through Ohio law and other publicly available divorce documents to see what they look like, and they are legitimate.
Why?
And here's a side by side, so you can see on the right is what is scanned into their file with totally different dates. And on the left, you can see that's what it should look like. You get it notarized, okay?
MilkBar, why do we care about these people being divorced? Why does she care about this? This is not something that Erica Kirk could control. She could not control her parents getting divorced. Why do we care about this? Candace, where are your 2 degrees again? You know, you're going to give us the background on your parents not raising you. You can't make this up. But you take this as being mean if you want to. I don't care. Candace is sitting here digging up Erica's parents' divorce documents where no one needs to see this. We don't need to know any of this. This is not furthering anything regarding the assassination of Charlie Kirk at all. We don't care. The judge and the court of law will not care either. Erica, please sue her. Because that's, you know.
Did you watch any of her Kamala investigation?
No.
I mean, that's a trip.
Right? Seriously, right now. No, I've never seen them.
The investigation is to not only prove that Kamala isn't black, but also that she's Jewish.
Oh my God! I thought she was Indian.
It's just this like BS for episodes on end, just going back through her family tree, just trying to like pick at whatever she can pick at to undermine whatever, so she can like push this thing. I mean, this is the thing. It's like, I mean, how many of these legal documents can you find where there's all sorts of mistakes that have happened that people just haven't caught, for whatever reasons. It's rubbish, but the agenda is to just plant that seed that Erica, all of her life is fake, and there's something shadowy going on here that explains why there's all these mistakes.
And the worst part is, here's the thing: Candace, not knowing anything about the law, does not know that you can submit drafts of settlement agreements or court documents, even a proposed order. If there are issues or errors, you can actually provide corrections. So the court does understand that people do err. If there are errors in proposed orders, you can edit them before the judge signs it. That's how you end up with maybe a signed version being different from the proposed version. But because she doesn't understand this concept and she's an idiot, of course she makes it seem as if they lied. No. If you type up and draft an order for the court for a judge to sign, and you make an error, mistake, or there's a spelling error, you can edit it. Even if it's signed, you can actually do a correction. You can do file a pleading for corrections to be made on the court record. So the court even understands that it's not someone lying, it's just someone erred. And those corrections can be made in court documents. But because she's what she say, her notary license is suspended, expired. Yeah, because she's a former notarist. Somehow she has the understanding of all things in the court of law. You can't make this up.
Do you want to know what so she starts with this is Erica Kirk's birthday, and Erica Kirk says that she still stands by this, and then she's like, but it's weird. Erica Kirk's parents seemingly don't know when her birthday is, and they have a different date. And then she points to one legal document where there's a mistake. Now, if she can present a pattern where her parents,
that's one thing,
have repeatedly over and over again have asserted that her birthday is this date, and Erica Kirk is saying another date. I mean, that would be interesting. I'd question why. Like, why do they have different dates? That's strange. But all she has is one document where it's the same mistake that's been repeated. That's entirely
Exactly.
it. But yeah,
her
claim is that her parents apparently don't know her birthday.
And the worst thing is with these court documents, even if you have an attorney, oftentimes these court documents are being prepared by one or the other party attorneys, and that could come down to the paralegal. So let's say the attorney's paralegal type this stuff up, of course they can make a mistake. They probably put in the wrong year. These documents were not prepared by the parents. They were prepared by the attorneys. So the attorneys can err in the year one of the dependents is born. It happens. All you have to do is correct it in the final version. It's that simple. But yeah, Candace, you'll learn the hard way, girl, because you got this lawsuit with the Macron, hopefully with Erica Kirk. You'll learn how this all works. But you would think she would ask one of her 3 attorneys. If you make a mistake on court documents, how does that go? Or just Google it. This is the extent of her willingness to research anything. That's why I choose to call her an investigator.
This is her pattern as well. She never takes into account human error. Right. I mean, someone could easily say, what's your son's birthday? And I could say it, and just for whatever reason, I'm tired, whatever, you get it wrong, and then Candace would say, why'd you lie? Why'd you lie about your son's birthday? And she does that over and over again. She's got a dumb, look at TPUSA's lies. This is their list. But she never accounts for human error. It's it's not a lie.
Not at all.
People just get things wrong. They recollect the wrong thing. But to her, it's if you make a mistake, that's suspicious. Why are you lying?
Yeah, and it's this isn't a lie. You have to prove that there was an intent to lie. Once again, Candace, you're still an idiot. These are things this is why she's going to lose lawsuits, many, many lawsuits, because of stuff like this. And this is something that the judge will remind her of. People make mistakes. People are going to make mistakes in error moving forward. This isn't the first time court documents have had errors in it, but yet somehow she thinks that people are intentionally lying. There's a difference. So once again, I'm telling you all, her Achilles heel is lawsuits. You're going to have to sue her so she can learn the hard way what happens when you make an error in court documents, because reasons. Oh God. All right, y'all, let's finish this up.
But it's going to get even more absurd when we examine the divorce decree. So for the uninitiated, the first document is just the filing. I, Lori, am pursuing a divorce, and here are the facts. And now what comes after that is the decree or the final judgment. Okay. Now
she has no.
I do want to note that this was the fastest divorce in the history of divorce. She filed on July 20th, 1998.
Uncontested.
And then we have a decree on November 10th of the same year. So this is 3 months later. Once again, the marriage date is listed. The initial marriage date between Kent and Lori as November 20th, 1995 in Marblehead, Massachusetts. But oddly, you can see that somebody just went in and tried to edit that date by hand afterward, adjusting the wedding date down this time to 1985, not 1982, hoping, I guess, that no one would catch that. I guess the unnotarized 1982 that we saw in the initial filing was too difficult. It would have been too obvious. So this time they're attempting to do it by hand and edit the date of marriage back just 10 years, not 13 years.
Oh my God.
This is not subtle. It is not normal. And it bothers me greatly. Take it from someone who is chronically being sued. That is not how modifications work on court documents. You can't just use a pen and write something on a divorce decree. You can't.
Yes, you can. She said take it from somebody that's been chronically sued. You know what? On that, we agree. She still knows nothing about how court works. But yes, she is definitely chronically being sued. This is priceless. Candace, thank you for telling on yourself. That speaks volumes. The fact that is your bragging rights. Okay. Candace is bragging about being chronically sued. I just let that sink in for a minute to the Candy Ass Cult members, because I'm not trying to convince you people of anything, but whatever. Let that sink in though. Your cult leader is chronically being sued. That is the zenith of her life. That's the climax. That is as high as she's going to get. Being sued. And somehow she thinks that it's horrible, as if it's illegal to make an error on court documents. Because these people would be in jail, wouldn't they, Milk Bar? If it was illegal, wouldn't they be in jail?
Oh, that's right. Of course.
When the judge have charged them or held them in contempt of court, concept you don't understand yet.
You make a mistake on a court document, you get like 20 years to life, right?
It's a cardinal sin, you know. How dare you write the number 8 on this in writing? You can't make this up. This is crisis. Come on, Candace, you dumb alien.
You just can't do that. People have to initial. You got to date. You got to see who saw it. This is crazy to me. My suspicion, and again, it's just a general suspicion, is that this was done after the fact. Maybe someone had a friend down at the county clerk who was responsible for scanning those docs into the system. I just kind of did that because that's not real life. That's just not real life.
Chronically
and
being
once
sued.
Again, that has another casually added separation agreement, which is still not notarized, with an entirely different date of marriage. And the crazy part is that the separation agreement, separation agreement, Kent Franzwey is waiving his rights to an attorney with no notary present. He just agrees that Lori's lawyer can represent him on everything. So what are we to discern from this? We are at 4 different plausible marriage dates between Kent and Lori Franzwey across 2 documents.
That's not how that works. If he waives his right to representation, this is a civil proceeding. He doesn't have to have representation. You do know it is a constitutional right in the United States of America to represent yourself. It's called pro se. You can't make this up. Candace, you're really stupid. Did this girl just say this? The other party's attorney did not represent him. He represented himself. This is a civil matter. Only in criminal matters do you have the right to get an attorney at the expense of the court. In a civil procedure, that's like a luxury. He had the right to say, no, I don't want an attorney. This is mind-blowing. For someone who gets chronically sued, wow, you didn't know that?
Documents. I should also add that I could not find a single trace of their alleged marriage in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but I couldn't find it across any date. And Marblehead, I would like to know, is certainly an interesting town to pick because it's the recognized birthplace of the Marine Corps. We're going to keep hearing the Marines coming out of the entire story. We're just laying the
Marines going to whoop up butt.
Now, I should note, to be responsible here, that there are divorce-related documents that are available in Ohio online that we simply are not allowed to have access to. Like, people have privacy. That makes sense. So it's entirely plausible that they went in and fixed these glaring errors that for some reason a judge, we're supposed to believe a judge signed off on this many wacky different dates. But the point here is just to demonstrate to you how even the most mundane facts about Erica's life are frustrating to verify. And that's just an appetizer, my friends. Because then we received a very interesting email from Sweden. Yeah, my Sweden fans. What's up? What's up, Sweden? And it led me to even more questions about Erica's paternity. We are going to be right back after a break. I want you guys some good news. Thanks to the reporting feature.
Nope.
Your credit profile.
Can I just say,
IKOFF.com.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that this is like what she's running with to open Bride of Charlie really tells you she's got nothing. I'm sure she's got the odd little thing up her sleeve, that she knows that when people are getting bored. But I mean, this is so boring.
This is painful, right? We have to listen. I want all of you all to know, Milk Bar and I plan on having a fun time laughing at Candace's expense because otherwise it's absolute garbage. I told you all, Candace feels like she has to be the smartest person in the room. That means her cult members are dumber than her. And they find this entertaining. They're loving this. But yet she can't tell you why court documents can be, corrected. Who knows? Maybe the clerk of the court or the court staff corrected it. Whatever. It happens. Like, oh my God. Chronically sued. Candace, you'll find out exactly what it means to be chronically sued. Erica Kirk and TPUSA, y'all should sue her separately. And then send me a copy of the lawsuit so I can read through them.
You know what? Like, this is the thing. Like, my wife is really good with dates. She's really good with birthdays, everything. I'm terrible. She does like our accounting and everything because I'm just terrible with numbers and everything. And so this is where she's painting this picture of like, oh look, there's these errors, right? So that must mean there's a conspiracy.
So crazy.
I would take a guess that the probability that the majority of people have got a trail of paperwork from everything they've had to sign throughout their years with no errors that they would be absolutely in the minority.
Yes.
And what she's pointing out is there is nothing abnormal about this whatsoever.
Yeah, how dare you be a human being, because Candace is an alien. She still has not acclimated to humanity. She has no idea that we can make mistakes as human beings because she's not us. She's not one of us, y'all. And this is Candace. You said you were an alien. We said, okay, we'll go with that. And that's it. That's why we're here. That's why I keep calling her that. Because she said it. This is someone that is so far beyond reality. She's so tapped into her alternate reality. That's Sugar Boogie and something else. She's so tapped into her alternate reality where how dare you make a mistake and get a year mixed up? But yet she can't tell you the difference. And I got to say this, between the letter N and the number 9. Y'all keep that in mind as we watch this woman think that everybody's supposed to be perfect. Oh my God.
Okay, so we obviously cannot go so far as to suggest that Loretta, Abbas, Stanley, Wallstad, Franz Fay was openly committing fraud. We can't say that. What we can confirm to, however, is that if she was doing that, breaking the law and committing fraud is something that Lori's family is kind of historically known for. They kind of arrived into this country doing just that. You see, Lori Franz Fay, like I said, was born Loretta Abbas. She was named after her Syrian grandmother, Loretta Abbas. I want to sear into your mind right now that the Abbas family history is steep in gambling and casinos. All about gambling and casinos.
And Candace lies like hell because she still can't prove that she has 2 degrees. And they better not be from degree mills, Candace, because that's fraud. So whenever you're ready to show us your degrees, then we'll pay some attention. Well, how did they commit fraud again? This is the woman who can't define the term. Okay.
Specifically, as we go along in this series, the history and the present of gambling casinos is going to become increasingly relevant. So let's bring in the OG Loretta Abbas, Erica's great-grandmother who died in 1990, who was just constantly being arrested for running illegal slot machines. Okay, she came over from Syria and she got to work bringing filth and fraud in Pennsylvania. You check out this article from 1941 where she testifies that she ran numbers. It says Loretta Abbas of Washington, Thomas Roberts, whatever, testified that they engaged in the numbers business and had been arrested on numerous occasions. They explained their role in the numbers lottery without giving any direct testimony against the defendants. Okay, here's another one. We could keep going, but here's another article from 1944 where she pleads guilty to a lottery charge. It was before the court. She wasn't lying. She's always arrested on a lottery charge. The state police had a search warrant, and when they entered her house, they found a quantity of number slips. She was sentenced to pay the cost and $200 or 5 months in the county jail. Like I said, this was a family thing. Her husband was Mason Abbas, and he was magnificently fraudulent. I'm talking high-speed chases down the highway, lottery tickets blowing in the wind. Check out this article from 1935.
Oh, my God.
And it tells us that he was overtaken in his automobile after a chase of several miles after he had failed to obey the officer's order to stop. Yes, Mason Abbas was arrested yesterday by County Detective Frank Krebs. Before an alderman, he was held for court in default of a $1,000 bond on a charge of conducting a lottery and was fined $10 and costs for refusing to stop when ordered to do so by a uniformed officer. During the race along the National Pike, which ended in West Alexander, Abbas is alleged to have thrown a package of 100 lottery tickets from his car. Officers recovered the tickets and are holding them as evidence. Yes, lottery, gambling, slot machines. Again, sear that into your mind. Not just on error.
No. Don't seal in your mind fractions or multiplication or the alphabet or how to, pronounce terms like onomatopoeia. No. Or expanding the English vocabulary. Can we have Candace and George deported? What's the chances of that happening? Because she thinks can we have them two deported?
Candace should host the what's that show? It's like Who Are You? When you look into like people's family trees. She should do that with like celebrities, and just like this is and just everyone ends up being Jewish, of course. But like this is the thing. So she's saying like Erica Kirk's mom committed fraud, and they have a history of like gambling and fraud and crime. I miss the part where Erica Kirk's mom writing down the wrong date in any way benefited her. Like
exactly.
How did she gain from that?
I don't know. And it is what she got $1,000 for every time she put down the wrong year in the court documents. The court awarded her for that. Like what does this have to do with who pulled the trigger on the gun that assassinated Charlie Kirk, Candace, in your world? Because in our world, Tyler Robinson did it. But in your world, who put the trigger on the gun? Like, that's what she was supposed to be doing some research on, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to be talking about? But she can't get there because she's got to talk about something that happened in 1935. Before she was born, before her mama was born. Where's your mother, Candace?
Yeah.
Where are your parents? Let's do a genealogical trace on Candace Amber Owens Farmer and George. Just throw both of them in the pot. I would love to go back and let's go back to the 1930s with Candace's grandparents and see if they've ever had any bootlegging, allegations thrown their way. This is so unreal.
I know.
This is so unreal.
She's like, Macrons have hired a female assassin, but like, hold on, I'll get back to that. I'm going to talk about Erica Kirk's great-great-grandfather who was a moonshiner,
God forbid Candace's great-grandparents took a swig of whiskey. They should be in jail for life on that one. Yeah, God forbid that. Yeah, we're going to resurrect them, and then we're going to put them in jail, and then we're going to put them back down. You can't make this up. Candace, we don't care. It happened in 1935. You can't even conceive what happened in World War II.
Because maternal side of the family, not just the Abbott side, but also the Swedish side, the Fransve side. The Swedish side of the family, I will be clear, there's a notable difference. It seems like they've been involved legally. Carl Kenneth Fransve is Erica's paternal grandfather. Okay, he participated extensively in horse racing. More crucially, though, he was an executive at the American Banknote Company in Illinois. This is the company that was responsible for printing lottery tickets. It's a big contract, a big deal. Here he is in a newspaper in 1974 doing just that. It reads, printing began this week on the first Illinois state lottery tickets. Up to 10,000 agents. It tells us at the bottom there that Kent Fransve of the American Banknote Company, the printer, examined the first tickets of the initial press run.
This is crazy.
Let's stick with Grandpa Carl Kenneth Fransve for a little bit because he is, by all accounts, obviously Swedish. Erica herself is therefore Syrian Lebanese on her mother's side and Swedish on her father's side. So something which struck me as immediately odd about Erica is just how deeply she identifies as Swedish, despite her public insistence that she was raised by a quote unquote single mother. Think about that just from a social perspective. If Erica was indeed raised by a single mother, wouldn't you expect her to identify more deeply with those Lebanese Syrian roots?
What?
Right? You might even understand it if she resented her Swedish roots. Like, my dad didn't do anything, and so I'm not even doing anything with the Swedes. I don't even like being Swedish. To the contrary, Erica feels so deeply attached to her Scandinavian roots that in 2019, she moved to begin the process of obtaining her dual citizenship. She posted this herself, where she is, dual citizenship commenced.
So what?
Maybe you're thinking logically, well, she loves her grandpa. I had a fantastic grandpa. I get that. I should mention she comes from a very long line of the Swedish Freemasons.
Doesn't Candace have dual citizenships of the UK and the US?
This is coming.
Does she have dual citizenship?
I don't know if it's true. That's what it said in the lawsuit.
So she's sitting here bringing this up like it's a bad thing. So Candace, you saying that you would rather be Russian? I mean, do we get to just lock you up for the next 50 years for that? Because that should be a crime, right? It should be a crime to say you have dual citizenship. I mean, how dare you? How dare you say you rather be Russian than American? Because reasons. Like, this is absolutely absurd. None of this changes anything about who pulled the trigger on the gun again. Oh, dear Lord.
Definitively was close to her grandfather. We know this because she posts about him many, many times over the years, referring to him affectionately as her morfar. Saw this over and over again. You just see posts of him and how much she loves him. She even mentioned her grandmother there. That's his wife, Elaine. And she says she is my angel in heaven, but I usually call her Mormor. So that's her morfar and her Mormor. Show you another post, just her grandfather, where she's going to talk about reflecting upon losing him in 2016. She's posting this, and she again is going to address him as her morfar. This appears to be another wrinkle. You see, I received a flurry of emails from our fans in Sweden about this particular post, and they did not like this post. And what they told me about it, they didn't like about it, made me reconsider things. Now I'm paraphrasing, but they said, Candace,
don't paraphrase, girl,
is referring to her grandfather as her morfar. I was like, okay. So I looked it up. It means grandfather in Swedish. Like maybe she doesn't, it's cute. Okay. Maybe she's not fluent, but it's cute. And then they explained it to me a little further. They said, no, Candace, The Swedish language is quite literal here. Morfar quite literally translates into mother's father, morfar. And farfar quite literally translates into father's father. We have different words for these things. These have entirely different meanings. You would never call your father's mother your morfar. You would never call, that's what she's doing. She's calling him her morfar. That is Erica's farfar. If Kent is her father's father is her farfar. She said, said, no Swedish grandfather would ever allow you to refer to him as morfar if he was not actually your morfar, okay? If he was your farfar, he'd say, very cute, I'm your farfar, let's get that straight. This would be something akin to being someone's grandfather and allowing them to call you uncle. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Words have meaning. So why is her very...
But yet you mispronounce half of them that you know. You know, Candace can't read past 3 syllables. I hope you all know that. So cat, hat, dog, log, sat, hat, happy, sad. Like you got to use 2, 3 syllable words. That's it. You don't give her anything complicated. You know, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is just, you know, that's too hard for her. Don't give her that. You can't make this up. What is this proving? Oh no. Has she ever been scolded by her grandparents or parents because of this? What is the deal? What's going to happen to Erica Kirk for saying morfar, not farfar? What's going to happen here? You would think Sweden would be so offended they would just say, "Don't ever come back here." Like, you know, Australia kicked out Candace, and so Candace, you got banned from a whole country, and they told you, "Don't you dare think about coming back." And you didn't say, you know, anything along the lines of morfar. You said worse words. You know, words that were divisive, words that were cruel, words that led to people being targeted for no reason, and bullying and harassment. You know, you use those types of words, and a whole country said kick rocks. Did she ever pay back the people who bought those tickets? Refunds ever been issued out or what? This is where we are. This is the same person sitting here talking about morfar, someone who has been banned from Australia because her words were hateful. Her words were aggressive. Oh my God.
Well, I can't wait to see. Let's see what the explanation for why this is suspicious.
Let's go.
Swedish grandfather, so Swedish, this line of Masons Swedish, allowing Erica to call him my mother's father. Lori's father? No, that's not Lori's father.
Oh no.
What's going on here? This is an incredibly interesting wrinkle.
So sad.
Which brings us to a point where we should introduce you to the family tree so you can just kind of see what's going on here, because this farfar scandal troubles me deeply. Is Erica lying? Is she mistaking? Is she making a mistake at all? Or is she accidentally actually trying to tell us the truth? Let's take a look at some other interesting tidbits. On March 21st of 2019, Erica visits with Charlie. She's in Jerusalem with Charlie, what is known as Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. My God. She posts a picture with a pretty curious caption. It reads in part, meet Darla, a Romanian Jew that now calls Israel home. She was sitting by my family's dedication sign for restoring the Zion Gate in Jerusalem. Oh. What?
Oh, no.
Why is Erica describing the Zion's Gate as her family's dedication? Speaking of which, why does her one-time roommate, Nicole Rothstein, allege that half of their family, referring to her and Erica's family, is Jewish? Doesn't make sense. She also claimed that after Charlie's assassination, that Erica, she was online going back and forth with people, that Erica was her best friend and her cousin. Nicole Rothstein said this. Now, I want to be clear, the Rothstein family, the Zion's Gate is their dedication. Nicole wouldn't be lying if she posted that it was her family's dedication, but Erica? Also, how did Erica and Nicole Rothstein get so close? Remember, Erica presents that she was raised by a single mother on the Lebanese side. If Erica is telling the truth about her paternity, then Nicole Rothstein, I want you to understand who this would be to her. Nicole Rothstein, it's going to sound ridiculous, but this is the reality. If Erica's telling the truth. Nicole Rothstein would be Erica's father's sister's husband's previous wife's daughter's daughter. In other words, zero blood relation, not even kind of related, kind of crazy. You would even call each other cousins. People do that. It's cool. It's my cousins, my cousin. Okay, cool. Erica goes a little further though. Erica also posted a lovely tribute to Alan Rothstein, Nicole's father, online. She calls him uncle. Uncle? Whoa. If Erica's telling the truth about who her parents are, to Erica, That would be her father's sister's husband's previous wife's daughter's husband. Suffice to say, again, absolutely zero blood relation, yet Erica is extraordinarily close to him as well. Now, we can show you on the family chart.
She's laughing about this.
It's insane. Okay, but we actually couldn't even fit it. It's so far removed. So you've got her aunt, Carla, is married to a guy named Jack, but Jack was also previously married to somebody else, which you see there named Edna. And this is Edna and Jack's line. This has nothing to do with Erica Franzwe. Again, how did she get so close to these people? Either. Why is she referring to them as her family and declaring that Zion's Gate, which is actually their family's dedication, which has nothing to do with her aunt Carla? Why is she saying that that's her family's dedication? That makes no sense.
Oh my God.
I'm struck by this. We could imagine how it could make sense. Now, again, we're imagining here. We're trying to make sense of the things that Erica is saying. I could imagine a very easy way it could actually make sense. Her closeness to the Rothsteins, her dedication to Jerusalem, if and only if we take Erica literally when she says Morfar. Let's assume that Grandpa Carl is indeed her mother's father. That would mean, well, obviously, Lori's wouldn't be her mother. It would also mean that Kent, just by nature of him being a man, is not her father. We're looking for her mother's father. So we have to start looking at Kent's siblings that are females. That would give us only 3 options. We can bring this back up. One of Kent's sisters would be my first pick. Again, we're in conspiracy land here, but I'd go with Carla because she's married to Jack Solomon, and that is Jack Solomon's dedication. Carla wasn't even married to Jack until 2002. She just jumped in and was like, this is my whole family and my family's dedication. No. But if Carla, her mother's father, if her mother was Carla, actually it would all make sense. Solomon is the very man who financed the restoration of Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. If Jack Solomon was her father, then Nicole Rothstein would indeed be her blood relative cousin. But again, that's purely speculation. We don't have to go into speculation. Let's give you the facts more about Jack Solomon. What is factual is that Jack Solomon eventually marries Carla Franzwe in 2002. And there are also some other really interesting facts about Jack.
Who cares?
Jack and Erica's mommy aunt, I don't know, Carla, live in Utah. He graduated from what is today known as Utah Valley University. He's very involved in the university. It was formerly known as Utah Valley State College when he graduated from there. He also created on their campus the Center for Jewish Studies. I mean, at the very least, you'd think with all of the money that he poured into that university, he might be able to call someone to get us more footage of Tyler Robinson. Or Carla. How about Carla? She's married to the man.
I told you. This is a show. It's the family tree, and you always will end up as Jewish.
How dare you be Jewish? George, boy, I would hate for George to have any trace of Jewish, anything in his bloodline. Man, that'll be the day. Candace, can you tell us who your parents and grandparents are so we can just start tracing your roots for no reason at all? Yeah, just because for fun. This is ridiculous, my man, dude. Let me tell you something. I have never heard something so just intentionally misdirecting and discombobulated in all my life. I would rather sit here and do calculus and algebra and trigonometry, all the hard classes, all that hard math. I would rather do that right now. Like, I'm enjoying, laughing at Candace, but good grief, girl. This is a disgusting obsession to sit here and trace somebody's genealogy like this. And mind you, Erica Kirk does not pay her bills. She has no effect in her life at all. If you can't stand her guts, why not just leave her alone? There's a thought. How about this? Candace, if you don't like Erica Kirk, why are you thinking and speaking of her? Wouldn't you just ignore her and forget she exists? Wouldn't that be the natural thing? If you can't stand somebody, you hate them, you don't like them, and you got all this envy and venom and angst against them, wouldn't you just leave them alone? MilkBar, do you hang out with people you just utterly despise? Do you go out your way to hang out with these people? Because maybe I'm confused. You go sit down and have dinner with someone. I utterly despise this person, but I'm gonna meet them at Applebee's at 10 o'clock.
I've got to make a move, but the thing about this is that it's it's like all of this stems from her saying, like, why did Erica Kirk call him like Morfar instead of Farfar? Where it's like who know, like
You
who
know?
knows? Maybe when Erica was a kid, she like said it by mistake, said the wrong thing, and it like
Right.
caught, and it was cute, and like who knows? There's plenty of explanations, but Candace has to like literally grab onto this, use it as the basis to then jump off to go to the craziest place, where it always ends up back at this thing of Erica said this thing publicly on Instagram, but yet she's lying to cover it up, like a bigger truth. She's hiding this bigger truth, but yet left the most obvious clue for anyone to be able to find, so that you can then grab onto that thread to be able to pull to unravel. It's like when she said that with Erica Kirk and Charlie when they got into a fight like the night before.
Exactly.
Charlie Kirk took his ring off that night, and Erica said that, but then he put it back on when he left the next morning, and so Candace is like, "Oh, I know why he took the ring off. It's because they had a fight." But then he put it back on to then still present like they were happily married. But yet Erica is the one that told that to the press. So if Erica's killing her own husband, why would she say that if she's the only one who even knows that happened? Like why it makes no sense whatsoever. But it's always about, you've always got to have those breadcrumbs for the conspiracy nuts. Like Candace, to be able to say like, see, look, there you go. I figured it out based on this thing that makes no sense. This is so dumb. This is the stuff where you watch this and you feel your IQ level just like dropping as you're watching.
Brain cells are just dissipate. Candace, you're not gonna fool me tonight. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because I'm just gonna go and learn a whole new language and make sure I keep myself mentally challenged, because this is ridiculous. Like, this is the stuff her cult is eating up because they're dumber than you, Candace. You know, this is what they crave. This is the red meat she's throwing to her base. They want her, keep going in on Erica. And then at some point by the end of next week, they'll probably be tired of hearing this, because she's going to repeat herself at least 5 more times. Between this week and next week, these conspiracies are going to recycle itself. So just like the Egyptian plane thing.
This is my prediction. I've got to duck out, but this is my prediction. Right? My prediction is that she knew that this was completely boring and there was nothing there, but she knew because it was the first episode and she got to take a week off and tease it that people would be tuning in. So that's why she just put in all this boring crap, because she knew that she'd have people tuning in anyway, but she'll have some like smoking gun rubbish, like her Charlie Kirk cherry picked group chat thing that she'll chuck in episode like 3 or 4 that will make some news, you know, to get people back. But I mean, to me, this is a good sign that she really has nothing.
Yeah, she's running out of material. Why don't you give us your last thoughts before you duck out, y'all? We have had a good time with Milk Bar joining us. We got to do this more often. More often. I'm just taking it back. I had no intention of pausing as much as I did, but there's just times where you're like, wait, what? Give us your last thoughts on this. Where do you think this is going to be by the end of the week? This dumb series. Just give us your thoughts before you go.
Well, what is it? It's it's Wednesday in America. It's Thursday here. You never know. Yeah. It's like, is she going to do a 4-day week? Is she going to do a 3-day week? Is she going to take Friday off? She's so lazy that it wouldn't surprise me if she drops this episode, another one, and then takes Friday off and has a long weekend.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What did she say as well? She said it was going to be a 2 or 3 episode thing. I think she said earlier, but she's considering to make it longer because of people's reaction.
Dear Lord.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, listen, we got your new video we're going to check out, you guys. We're going to finish this up, but let's thank MilkBarTV for coming in and hanging out with us. We're going to finish this up and then check out your video and end it out. But you guys show Milk Bar some love. Make sure you check out his channel as well, his great content. We got the new video you posted up we're going to do after this is done. So thank you so much. You know you're always welcome here in the Lady Luck Club. Please do not be a stranger and don't let 4 months pass by. Come hang out with us more often.
I'm hoping whatever was going on with my YouTube, whatever shadow ban was there seems to have been lifted.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I'm finally getting some people are saying that they're finally seeing my stuff get recommended. And I managed to actually get monetized for the first time. I don't know what nothing changed. So I want to start doing even like a weekly stream.
Okay.
And people can chuck in questions and we can look at some stuff. And, so anyway, so it'd be good to have you on as a guest.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
honey, you don't even have to ask. Just let me know.
Trying to figure out how I want it to look, but yeah. Anyway, so I'll do that soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Milk Bar. Email me when you're ready, and we'll be here.
Well, enjoy the rest. I don't know if that's the right word.
Right. Thank you. Y'all tell him, Milk Bar, have a great evening. Listen, we're gonna finish this up. Because this is something else. Candace, we're here to laugh at you. Okay. That to all the candy asses, I told you all, y'all come into my chat at your own peril. So yeah, we're gonna finish this up and just get in this good giggle. And then we're gonna check out Milk Bar's video. Please tell me my bar friend and dropped a new video because we need a good laugh too after this is done. Maybe we'll watch the midget horse video again after that. We just gotta laugh after this.
She could have maybe, in my imagination, made it to the hospital when Charlie was shot and killed. I mean, why did none of them make it to the hospital? They're all so nearby. She still lives in Utah. This happened in their backyard. Their family has a lot of power at UVU. Why not Auntie Carla rather than Stacey Sheridan accompanying you onto Air Force 2 as your husband's body is escorted to Arizona? Jack Solomon was also a professor at BYU in political science. He's the former director of the university's Jerusalem Center. He also served on the Center for Jewish Studies on the board at UVU. Zion's Gate, like I said, is his dedication. And if you're wondering how Jack got so rich, it's because back in 1968, Jack and his business partner, a man named Norman Vance, began a company called Advanced Patent Technology. That company would go on to manufacture slot machines. You got it. Slot machines. Everybody's, it's just amazing. It's like everyone is involved in gambling. Per his bio, in 1974, Jack gathered more than $5 million to purchase United Coin, the manufacturer of slot machines and the holder of a profitable Southern Nevada slot machine routes. In 1979, they announced plans for the Colorado Bell Hotel and Casino in Laughlin, Nevada, the first of a series of hotels to be built in the Las Vegas area. They had a lot of power in that area. Where were they?
Candace. Who cares?
I know. It's an interesting connection. I am marking that for all the YouTubers who are interested in investigation. No. The gambling thing keeps coming up. And,
Candace, are you going to tell us who your parents are? We can go from there. Or how about you tell us the name of those classmates you accused of sending you all these, alleged racial remarks and stuff like that. That that $35,000 settlement from your high school, so we can interview those kids. I would love to interview them, because if you're capable of lying this bad on someone who was simply married to someone who lost his life that you pretend to be a friend to because you don't care, then we should definitely be interviewing those kids that you alleged harassed you in high school. Especially when you're out here getting charges for harassment, because hypocrisy and all. This is crazy. I would love to interview those people. I don't know if it was how many students, 1 or 2. It was at least 1. I would love to interview that person, and we can figure out exactly why a school awarded you $35,000 when you never produced any evidence on that. Just like you refuse to produce your degrees you claim you earned. I didn't say she earned 2 degrees. Candace said that in 2 different videos. And she's never, ever shown us her degrees. When your cult leader is lying about being educated, but can't tell the difference between the letter N and the number 9, yeah, you deserve to be laughed at until kingdom come. Candace, hell is hot.
As me and Charlie used to say, the rest is future. We'll be right back after a quick break. All right, do you know I'm going to tell you about Nimi Skincare?
Oh, God.
And it's about to get even more.
She really is going on over there with these photos.
You associate a divorce with a separation. Anyway, here's the true time.
Oh, God, come on.
1998. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here because it's a minor wrinkle, but her parents didn't divorce until she was 10. But it's totally possible, like when you're a kid and your parents are separating many times before they get divorced, that you associate divorce with the separation. Anyway, here's the true timeline. Erica was in Cincinnati, Ohio for daycare in 1992. She attended a place called Walnut Corner Children's Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, located inside of a massive corporate building. Oddly, the filing for...
Is she ever going to tell us who she thinks pulled the trigger on the gun? Because I have a feeling she will never tell us that. Somehow we're supposed to be concerned about what daycare a child attended that she probably doesn't even remember. Or, look at Erica Kirk as if she's responsible for her parents getting a divorce at 10 years old. Is she ever going to tell us who she believed pulled the trigger on the gun that assassinated Charlie Kirk? Because if you're not going to do that, Candace, at least you can let us know. I will never disclose that information. At least give us the common courtesy of telling us you don't know, you don't care, and you're not interested. Just give us a heads up. Because we'll never get there. Because you would think she would have at least went to UVU. All this time she's done this, she could have went to UVU and did a tour and a live stream and retraced the steps of Tyler Robinson. She won't do that to save her life. But somehow, knowing what daycare Erica Kirk attended as a child, is going to get her closer to something regarding her husband's death, because he didn't pick you. Candace, it must have been those recurrent yeast infections. Y'all know Yeasty is something else down there. She wanted a court of law to know that Black mold was giving her recurrent yeast infections. It's in court documents, Candace. You should look at that.
That daycare doesn't have a floor number, but I can show you this photo of her at daycare. LOL, by the way, to her being dressed as a little bee and accidentally throwing up some Freemason hand signs. Which is a nice ad. She looks adorable.
Oh, God.
Thereafter, she moves to Arizona and she attends a school that they have virtually tried to wipe from public existence. Now, it's very difficult to explain this unless you're in the weeds, but there is another school by the same name that goes on for a little bit longer. But this particular school came to fruition when a man named John T. Goley incorporated Educational Alternatives up in Minnesota. It was called Educational Alternatives Incorporated. Now, John T. Goley was a big guy. He had formerly helped launch Roundup Monsanto, which is a little bit of government poisoning you, giving you a bunch of cancer. This time, though, he was pioneering charter schools in America. He teamed up with the Walton family, the Bush family. Yeah, everybody involved in this school that Erica's going to attend.
When she's a child.
It's interesting. I don't know. Don't you want to go to school where the Bushes, the Waltons?
How would you know that you can't control that? If her parents put her in a school and she's 5-6 years old, that's not something she can control. Yeah, how dare the 5-year-old object to what school she goes to? I'm sorry. How many of you all were able to tell your parents, no, I don't want to go to school with the Bushes? How dare you, mama? How dare you, mother? Don't you ever think about putting me in a school with the Waltons. They are beneath me and my teddy bear. Barbie doll and I have a say-so. Don't we have a vote? Me and all of my stuffed animals? Because she's 5, remember. Do we not get a say-so, Mom? Me and Mr. Pinky and Barney and Barbie, Cabbage Patch Kid back here. I'm naming all the old school dolls. Do we not get a say-so in this? We have a vote in this house. We have a voice. Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you pay any mortgage? Are you buying groceries this week? No? You have no job. You're 5. Okay, cool. What the?
Monsanto is getting together a school. I don't know. Want to send your kids? Anyways, John T. Goley, and Jeb Bush went on to Good Morning America to announce the project. The schools would come to be known as Tesseract schools, named after the children's book, A Wrinkle in Time. Story about time travel. The protagonists of that book fly through space and time using a tesseract to rescue their family from evil forces. It's a battle between good and evil using time travel. And it's about to get even more fun. Because when these powerful families decided to start the Tesseract school in Arizona, they began with a small school in Paradise Valley first. It is that specific school that Erica attended that is virtually impossible to come by many documents regarding. They needed a space for the school. And
yeah, because why would you need to get documents on a school about one particular student that went there over 20 years ago? Candace, why won't you tell the University of Rhode Island URI, something you know all too well in another acronym, to release your degree. She claims she has 2 degrees, one in journalism and the other in English. I want to see those degrees. Are you going to just get the degrees from URI, Candace? Because that URI yeast infection thing is something else. Are you ever going to produce those degrees? Can we call your school and get your school records? It's funny how no one can pull the actual court documents on that harassment charge you incurred at 17 years old. One thing Erica Kirk was not was a criminal. She was not being charged with harassment at 17 either. It's funny how that happens. Erica Kirk, you can use that one for free, girl. Yeah, you know what? You can say all these things about me, but I was never charged with harassment at 17. Kick rocks, Candace. The dumb White Walker here is trying to give this impression that Erica Kirk can control where she went to school at 4 or 5 years old. But yet, never mind that harassment charge Candace caught at 17. It's funny to me. Now that I think about it, this whole, the kids were, harassing and bullying me, making racial slurs. We've never seen those text messages. And you get a harassment charge, you're very capable of obsessing over something. I'm wondering, is it because you liked the boy? He told you leave me alone, and you said no. Perhaps Candace was the one, perhaps, that couldn't leave this kid alone, and he just had to go flat off on her. And then she went and cried victim. Perhaps. Maybe the NAACP will have some documents we can look up to see more about this so-called lawsuit that Candace and her people filed against her high school, because of reasons. Yet we haven't seen any evidence related to that. Where are those court documents, Candace? Where are the court documents of you catching this charge? How do you catch a charge for harassment at 17? Why the hell weren't you in class? Did they pick you up from your school or from your granddad's house? I mean, how did this go? How were you arrested? What was jail like?
Decided they were going to rent the building that was owned by a Jewish school. Forgive me,
burning bush
Hebrew, but the school, I kid you not, was called Gan Yaladim Looking Glass School. It's like, I just love this so much. So Tesseract,
she loves it so much.
Put into a looking glass. I just think it's fantastic. I just imagine they thought I was like dropping some clues. I was like, why are they all freaking out about this episode about Project Looking Glass? They probably thought I had already known that she went to this looking glass school. It was a little elite looking glass school down in Arizona. By the way, Tesseract, the school itself, is exceedingly Jewish in terms of the administration. It was run by Jewish executive directors. The teachers are all Jewish. Obviously, you know me. I'm nosy. I tracked down the yearbooks. I mean, I was working really hard.
Where are your yearbooks? Because I'm trying to get in touch with those kids you sued. Y'all, this freeze frame is epic. Anyone know what was Stanford High School? Anyone know the name of the kids that she accused of racial profiling her? I want to read that court I want to read those court documents. Candace, we got them all except that one. Because I want to interview these kids to see if that actually happened. Because I have a feeling that story goes a lot deeper, Candace, than you say it does. I mean, since you want to sit here and dig into somebody's past because, she was 5 years old and couldn't help what school she went to. What in the world? Candace feeling left out. She's an elite, but yet she wants to sit here and weaponize, the years that I guess she was broke as hell. She claims she lived in the hood. And yet we have no idea who her parents are. Like, where's Candace's relatives at? Why don't you do a genealogy trace on yourself? Yeah, that would be interesting. And then you do a whole video on yourself and talk about your parents and show us your 2 degrees. This is crazy. I would love to know more about that harassment charge.
Hard while I was off. And I can show you that Erica was at school. I don't have every year yet, but I do have some years, 1995 to 1996 in first grade, 1996 to 1997 in second grade, and 1997 to 1998, which is her in 3rd grade. I gotta tell you, I am so glad that I found this Tesseract.
Why?
I didn't get to time travel with it. I don't think I did. Did you think they saw me in the Looking Glass? How panicked were they when I said Looking Glass? Whoa, no.
Yo, we got to go back in time to pull her charge of harassment. Hey, let's go and get a Tesseract for that. Stop insulting Marvel. Loki is going to come in travel through time through that orange door and whoop your ass, girl. Leave Marvel out of this. Tesseract is of no use to you at all. She can't even spell it. I highly doubt Candace can spell Tesseract.
He's talking about Project Looking Glass. That's crazy. Meanwhile, they're down in Arizona, like naming their schools. Project Looking Glass, like Looking Glass Tesseract. Put them in the school.
Candace,
I just love that. It was like an accidental troll. But what is very exciting about finding her at this school is that it unlocked a lot of important things that needed to be known about Erica's life. And
it doesn't need to be known.
I mean,
she was a child.
Speaking to people who went to that school, the one in Paradise Valley, to be very clear, there's other Tesseracts. It got shut down.
Can you all that went to these schools remember that you were children, you were minors, and not sit here and entertain Candace's dumb shit? When are the kids that she accused of this racial profiling, when are they going to come forward? Let's get in touch with them and give them interviews. I would love to hear their side of the story. I want to talk to the cop that arrested you for that harassment charge at 17 years old. This girl was too busy being arrested and charged at 17. And yet, it's like, Candace, you wanted to be Erica so bad. You're going back in time, trying to envision that life being your life because of reasons. Y'all, look how Tesseract is spelled. Y'all see this? Tesaraks. I guarantee you that's how Candace spells it as well.
The one I'm talking about got shut down in the year 2000. And then other schools, because they had other schools, kept going. They changed ownership. But this one was there for a very small amount of time. I'm looking at the yearbooks, and there are some interesting players involved in this school that kind of went down for fraud. It's robbing the piggy bank. It's a recurring theme.
Yeah, never mind all this cyber.
We're going to stop here, though, for today, because that's a lot. I've given you a lot today.
Yeah, she gave us a lot of doxing. She's sitting here risking other kids being shown in yearbooks when they were minors, but yet she has such an affinity for child traffickers and SAers and all these things. But yet she's posting up photos of children in yearbooks. Because Candace, we can all say the same thing about you. You seem to have an affinity for these minors. You all went to school with Erica Kirk. So what? But yet you won't tell us what kind of grades you were getting in school while you were too busy being charged and arrested. You tried to swindle a school. You actually did achieve that goal of grifting a school out of $35,000+ in a settlement and got the NAACP to help your ass out because you're a Black woman, not because there might be any truth to the accusations against these students. Where are they at? I want to interview them. Come forth and spill the beans. This is a safe place here. Because this miscreant from hell is too busy posting up yearbook photos where these impersonating investigators she called mommy sleuths could easily roll back the blurs and see the real images of all these other children in this yearbook. Posting up court documents that have nothing to do with Erica Kirk. She can't control her parents with divorce. It is not the child's fault. And yet you sit here and attack her as if it's all her fault. Like she's single-handedly responsible for that. Never mind the fact that she had a father and a stepfather in her life. Are you jealous, Candace? Because your mommy and daddy weren't around? You too busy getting in trouble and harassing people? You didn't get charged for nothing. I want to know how long she spent in jail.
To digest, and we should probably get to comments.
God.
A lot, guys. There's a lot going on with that Tesseract school. We'll be back after a short break.
Yeah, the Tesseract. Something she can't spell. Y'all, let's get to MilkBar's video.
Candace,
on Milk Bar, y'all. Oh my God, y'all, we made it. We made it. Candace is very jealous of Erica Kirk. She wants your life, Erica. She wants to be you so bad that she wants to have a fictitious time-traveling cube called the Tesseract and go back in time, pulling up yearbook photos of you and your classmates that won't be blurred for long because somebody's going to unveil all of that, which is the worst thing you can even conceive happening. Like a child's background where she attended school is not even safe anymore because Candace is going to dox all these kids because dumb reasons and her jealousy and envy. Child, she went back in time on us, y'all. She traveled with the Tesseract. Then she's going to talk about the Infinity Stones. And then, you know, how she had to wrestle with, you know, the purple octopus dude. She had to wrestle with the Avengers, beat Captain America up just to get the Soul Stone. Like she had to do a lot of things so she can get these yearbook photos of minor children and post them up because reasons. My whole thing is, why are people who went to school with Erica Kirk coming forth and talking to Candace? Why are you doing that? This is what's happening here. You're putting yourself and other kids at risk of being exposed who deserve to live in peace and harmony. And I have to worry about their yearbook photo at age 5 in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade showing up on Candace's videos. You know, the dumb alien that crash landed on our planet. She refused to leave. Candace, it's easier for you to just leave humanity alone. It's the cyber crimes for me. It's the cyber crimes for me. That's it. It's the cyber crimes for me. There is absolutely no reason to post up yearbook photos of small children from over 20 years ago. None. Because Candace, you wouldn't want anyone to do that with your kids. You wouldn't want anyone posting up photos of your children. And now in the future, in 2026, because apparently the Tesseract only takes you back but so far. You wouldn't want that. No one goes around here talking about what's Candace's kid's name. Let's just find their kid's name. We don't care. I don't care. Why are you sitting here posting up these yearbook photos? Your cult members have to be disgustingly depraved pets as well if they think that's cool. Because they're the ones begging for this, right? The candy-ass cult members are the ones that are fiending for this red meat to be thrown at them. They want to look at kids in yearbook photos and try to say, oh, there's something sinister about that Erica Kirk. Look at that little girl up there. This is what they want. They want to look at kids in yearbook photos. It's disgusting. Child boo. God. Now we've survived that. Y'all, we all going to send Candace an invoice because her cult members still want me to get paid that $7,000. Can someone send Candace an invoice? Tell her to pay me. I'll take the money in the meantime while Israel work that out, I guess, whatever they're going to do. Can't make this up. This is absolutely insane. The candy-ass cult members, y'all, are deep in the chat. You can point them out when they continue to misspell words. You know, stupidity of it all.
Owens is attempting to smear Erica Kirk as a child groomer, of course, based on no evidence whatsoever. None. I would like to highlight the time that Candace Owens defended 5 child groomers, including one convicted child molester, back in August 2023. She did this because this minor is also the alleged victim of the Tate brothers.
It's relevant to this case to discuss her history before she ever met a Tate brother.
That's right. Her husband's good buddy, Andrew Tate.
I've known Andrew since before Andrew was Andrew. You know what I mean? He's a great guy.
I use sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
Now, she says that she does research into her.
And so I thought, this is an easy thing for me to actually research.
Of course, research for Candace Owens literally means that she just read a lawsuit that the Tate brothers had taken out against this alleged trafficking victim after this alleged trafficking victim had testified to Romanian authorities.
Begin with what Andrew Tate had to say.
Now, Candace Owens repeatedly...
Can we start with what George Farmer being in the closet has to say, or that allegation that a grown man has levied against him for essay? Because George Farmer, a grown man, has alleged that you tried to essay him. A grown man. When are you going to come clean about this lavender marriage? Because y'all didn't know each other. Y'all still don't. I guarantee you all, because Candace can't control her bladder. That yeast infection makes her pee-pee in the bed. He does not sleep in that room with them. George doesn't. He's like, oh no, I'm not putting this into that. They had to use a turkey-based
names the alleged victim, who was a minor, when 5 grown men group her. I will, however, cut out all these mentions of her name. Instead, you'll hear my voice saying minor's name.
So who?
Minor's name.
First, I'll tell you who she is, according to the Tate brothers, who is suing her in Palm Beach County, Florida. According to them, again, if you want to take their word for it.
Now, I'll let you be the judge if you should believe what the Tate brothers say or not.
What did I do? I helped some people organize some accounts on an internet website. That's what I did.
I created a system that allowed me to convince girls to do this, allowed me to retain 100% control of their income. I know how to make sure the girl can't run away.
Now, really what all of this boils down to is her attempting to say that this one girl, that she, in fact, is the predator and that these 5 grown men are the victims.
She has a chain of victims going back several years to when she was a minor.
Now, Candace Owens portrays these grown men as young men.
This young man, Dustin Milner, a young man named Tyler Hensel.
These are not young men in the early 20s, okay? These are men who are aged 34 up to nearly 60.
One on 57. One of them is 57. And this was some years ago she did this video, people. What in the hell? This is what she's defending. Just like she defends those who go out and send death threats to Jewish conservatives because Candace said words. This is why an entire country told you to kick rocks. All of Australia is showing us how it's done. When the hell can we get George and Candace deported the hell up out of here? Why are we entertaining this alien? This is crazy.
5 of these grown men were with this girl, ranging from when she was 15 to 17 years old.
Was she
and the age of consent in Florida, if you're over 24, is 18. But they're all the victims, according to Candace Owens, not the teenage girl.
You have a woman
over 30
who is doing
teenage
this
girl.
to men.
It's also important to point out that ignorance is not a defense in Florida.
It's not.
Absolutely up to these grown men. For them.
Ignorance is not a defense in any court, in any state. Ignorance is not a defense, period. Willful ignorance, tactical stupidity, however you want to term it. Candace, you can ask one of your 3 attorneys about that. It is not a defense in court. You admitting to defaming the Macrons on X.com, because I got the post, does not mean you go to court and say, I didn't know I was defaming them, though. No, you already admitted to doing that. You can't make this up. So, Candace, when your daughter turns 16, go ahead and let Andrew Tate take her out to eat. See how that goes. Let's see if Candace's teenage daughter in the next 5-10 years will be left alone with Andrew Tate or any of these 5 men. Because that's how you measure up to determine whether or not somebody's a good parent and they actually have a soul and a conscience. Will you leave your teenage daughter alone with these 5 grown-ass men, Candace? I hope you don't. But let's just do a litmus test. Let's see exactly how dumb you really are. Leave your daughter alone with Andrew Tate for a whole day when she turns 16. I dare you. Yeah, just send her right on over there wherever he is. Where's he, in Romania? Send your daughter to Romania when she turns 16 and say, you're going to be with Andrew Tate for the next 2 years. Yay! Let that happen. Tell George don't interfere. I want to see how well he's still good friends with his buddy pal, Andrew Tate, when his daughter is the one sitting in the room alone with Andrew Tate when she turns 16. I dare you.
them to confirm and know the age of the woman that they're having sex with. So Candace Owens' defense, it's not even a legal
Crazy
defense.
stuff.
On multiple occasions, she has accused innocent men of horrific crimes, resulting in their unjust incarceration.
Now, the problem for Candace Owens is that one of these men was actually convicted of molesting this girl when she was a minor.
My God.
58-year-old Keith Fox posed for a mugshot Tuesday. Police say he had sex with a 15-year-old girl.
Essentially, it was believed that she was having sexual relations with him, and the courts found that to be true. And he is now been sentenced to 24 years in prison.
And he was not only convicted of molesting her, but convicted of molesting another minor as well.
There were 2 girls that were involved in that case, just to be clear, and one of the girls admitted flat out to having an outright sexual relationship with him, including sexual intercourse.
Now, what does Candace Owens do? Because she realized that this is a big problem in the narrative that she's attempting to push. She beeps the name of the convicted child molester.
The only reason I'm not going to name him is because at the time of the allegations against him,
minor's name
was in fact a minor. And that, of course, is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here. Throughout this episode, by the way, you're going to hear some beeps when I'm discussing this case. If I accidentally say his name, we intend to just beep it out.
Yes, she beeps the name of the convicted child molester, yet she names
the teenage
molested
girl
child over and over again. Like I said, the entire episode was dedicated to attacking and discrediting this girl who was a minor when she was involved with this convicted child molester.
And Candace, you are despicable and deplorable. But how dare you leave your teenage daughter alone? She don't even have to hit 16. Seems like some of these guys, I saw 12 through 17 in the charges. Yeah, when she turns 12, yeah, why don't you put your 12-year-old daughter around these guys? These nasty, gross-ass men. Put your 12-year-old daughter around them, Candace. You got a little girl. Leave her alone with them. Let's see your dumbass cult members leave their daughters around these men. Now, I'm sorry. How many candy asses up in here would actually leave their teenage daughters around these men alone? Come on, candy asses. Let me know. Would you leave your teenage daughters around these men? I'm just saying. If you would, okay. That kind of just shows the type of person you are. Let me know. Would you leave your teenage daughters around these men that Candace is sitting here protecting? Show us how much you really love your cult leader. Leave your teenage daughters around these grown-ass men and see what happens. They sit here. It's the hypocrisy for me. Candace, leave your teenage daughter. Leave your 12-year-old daughter. When she turns 12, send her around these 4 men you sitting here defending.
And with these other grown men. Because she doesn't want you to look into the case to realize that there's no basis for this narrative that she's attempting to push.
And not expose his name so people can look up the case because, as I said, she was underage at the time.
His name is Keith Fox, okay? That's who she's beeping the name of. And you can look it up. It is publicly available.
The arrest report shows that the teen's mother hired a private investigator to follow her daughter and Fox. Last June, while Fox's wife was away on business, the investigator saw the teen at the front window of Fox's home, quote, in the nude, touching one another in a sexual manner. And the teen described her relationship with Fox to detectives as more of a father-daughter one. She also told detectives that he was a mentor to her.
It started off with just a very close relationship between a teen student and her yoga instructor. He made a few inappropriate comments.
Police say those escalated to several serious allegations against Fox.
Performed deviant sexual acts in the bedroom, such as urinating on her during intercourse. Is serving a prison sentence. His life has pretty much been destroyed here.
Candace Owens wants you to feel sorry for the convicted child molester.
No, I really dare Candace to leave her daughter around this Keith Fox. Come on, candy asses. Y'all leave y'all daughters around Keith Fox. Go ahead and defend your cult leader on this. Defend her. I dare you. Put it here. How many of you candy ass cult members will sit here and leave your daughters around Keith Fox? Come on, candy asses. Speak up. Don't sit here and get scared now. Y'all be willing to sit here and leave your daughter around Keith Fox? I'm just saying. Candy ass cult members root everything else on. You rooting this on? Y'all gonna root on Candace to leave her 16-year-old daughter around Keith Fox? You know, he was a yoga instructor. You can't make this up. She defending this shit.
Lester, who has 2 victims aged 12 to 15. That's who Candace Owens is. So now remember, Candace Owens' entire attack of this minor is that she lied about her age to these grown men.
She's got this trial going on with, she is now with Marlon Fisher, and he begins to suspect that she lied about her age. She lies about her age repeatedly.
Well, Candace Owens goes on to read text messages between Marlon Fisher and this alleged victim, where they're openly discussing the fact that she's underage. Marlon Fisher is well aware of this, and he's not breaking up with her.
This is the text message exchange between Marlon and
minor's name. Context is the alleged victim has claimed that she was raped by Joel Friedman, another one of the grown men that was with her when she was a minor. And Marlon Fisher is pressuring her to confront Joel Friedman about it. And in it, they're openly talking about the fact that she's underage, and this could be a problem for Joel Friedman and for Marlon Fisher. Minor's name.
Right. Wow. Can I message Joel to tell him that I have a boyfriend? Marlon Fisher says, as you clearly understand, nobody cares that you have a boyfriend, but if you'd like to tell him that he raped you, by all means.
Minor's name.
Says, I'd like to not put our relationship at risk. I'll gladly tell him when I'm 18 and anybody else that happened with. So sweet you are. You're breaking up with me because I don't want to tell Joel that he raped me. One, I don't know if he would tell other people that I'm underage or who he would tell. And if they know that I'm dating you, what happens then? Imagine your girlfriend tells you that she was raped by some other man.
Here she is, reading text conversations where these men are well aware of the fact that she's underage. Candace Owens is even aware that they're aware because she's saying that this could be a problem for them.
She's kind of coming up with the reason, oh no, I don't want to say anything. Oh, and he'll know that I'm underage, blah, 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 blah. This might impact us.
So this whole narrative completely falls apart. It makes zero sense. Just like it makes zero sense that Candace Owens would beat the name of the convicted child molester because the case involved a child, but yet she names the child. But she knows their audience are complete dummies, and they're not going to question her. So they just go along with what she says. But also, let's just remember that all of...
I want them to fess up in the chat and see if they will leave their teenage daughters around these guys. I want them to fess up in the chat. Come on, candy asses. Don't deflect from it. Would you leave your underage 16-year-old daughters around these grown men that she's defending? Because Candace, you know, I guess she would. She would let her daughter go out at 16 years old with a 50-some-year-old man. Yep. The candy asses would root that on all day. Yeah, she's 16. Let her make her own decisions. She can consent and go out on a date to Red Lobster with a 52-year-old grown-ass man. Yeah, let that happen. Where the candy asses at? Most of them deplorable anyway. They probably wouldn't even care.
This is framed around her defending the Tate brothers.
So let's talk about the Tate brothers and how
Minor's
met them.
And Andrew Tate, Candace Owens' husband, George Farmer's good longtime buddy, himself in Romania is facing charges for human trafficking, but also sex with a minor, a 15-year-old, and trafficking of minors, another minor.
I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America.
16. Vivian's been with me 6 years.
So he's been with Vivian for 6 years, right?
Vivian's like 21.
Vivian's 21. And at this point, he's been a girlfriend for 6 years.
Vivian's younger. Vivian's younger. Said, tell the camera, I beat you when you don't do as I say. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say the word listen? Did I say the word listen? You stupid bitch. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say listen? Did I say listen? Look at the camera. Did I say listen? Did I say listen?
So Candace Owens is out here attempting to...
Look what she defending. Oh no. Oh my God. What in the entire hell did I just see? I don't even want to rewind it. Candace, you are sick and perverted. You are a demon. A soulless demon from hell. You're defending that. You can't make this up. Where is your daughter at? Candace has one daughter. She has 3 boys and 1 girl. I dare you, Candace, to leave your daughter alone with Andrew Tate. And George punk ass can stay in the closet. I dare you to leave your daughter alone with Andrew Tate. You can't make this up. And the cult members are defending that BS. They're sick and depraved. They're getting their fixes by watching her video of her doxing Erica Kirk's classmates when they were children in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, showing their yearbook photos as if it's a crime to go to school. Never mind the fact that they're kids and they can't decide what school they want to attend. But no, let's just put up those yearbook photos so we can sit here and talk about Erica Kirk when she was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And this is what Candace defends. She's got to be an undercover Maxwell Ghislaine. Yeah, Candace is the black version of Maxwell Ghislaine. Or Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever her name is. Yeah, said it. Candace, if you sitting here trying to be friends with Andrew Tate, then you should be compared to the so-called girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. Because that's exactly what the hell you are. And you're sitting here defending Andrew Tate. We just saw someone get smacked and he pulled out a belt. But yet, I wonder what would happen if George were to smack her like that. Maybe she likes that. Maybe Candace likes abuse. Maybe she was abused. Candace, you're an insult to all women.
To portray Erica Kirk as a child groomer based on no evidence whatsoever. While Candace Owens herself has quite the track record of defending men who range from convicted child molesters to men who are charged with trafficking of minors and sex with a minor. That's who Candace Owens is. So Candace Owens, please spare me the virtue signaling of you pretending that you care for child grooming. All right, you absolute hypocrite.
Oh, and Dr. Umar John. Oh, what a demon. Candace, you're a demon.
Candace Owens.
Oh my God, y'all. I don't even know what else to say. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. That was hard to see. That was hard to see. Andrew Tate smacked this woman on video and pulled out his belt, and she's defending that and interviewing him, giving him a platform, defending 5 Pete who sat here and SA underage girls, one of which was convicted. That is absolutely depraved behavior. And what does she do? She's doing a series on Erica Kirk where she's pulling up Erica Kirk's yearbook photos of her being in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. You know, underage. With other minor children in that yearbook photo. And she's loving this. She's delighting in it. The candy ass cult members, they're loving that. Watching underage children being shown in yearbook photos. Because they're just as sick and depraved as she is. They're just as demonic, and they're even dumber. Erica Kirk, you're going to have to sue her. Because I fear down the line, and I haven't missed it. I've called it every single time. I said, if you respond, have an attorney. But Candace is so obsessed that I don't put it past her that she would bring harm upon you and your kids physically. That she probably would co-sign on something horrible happening to you and your 2 children. She doesn't care that you and your kids are getting death threats and kidnapping threats. The cult members go after people because they're Jewish conservatives. And she's defending Andrew Tate like this, knowing she has a daughter. Candace probably wouldn't even care if her 16-year-old came to her and said, yeah, I want to go out on a date with Andrew Tate. Like, yeah, he's a good guy. Your dad likes him. It's so disgusting. And yet she lies about having 2 degrees and refuses to show them. Candace, you and the devil are both a liar. Your dumbass cult members have no power over here, which is why they keep whining and complaining in the chat. And you're all sick and depraved if you think what we just saw was worth defending. While you're putting up photos of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders in your videos. just so you can sit here and show us all how envious and jealous you are of Erica Kirk. This is why Charlie didn't pick you. Can't make this up. Candace is pure evil. Defending that? You defending that? Y'all, we gotta end it on some lighter note. Because, oh my God. Yeah, I'm a grown woman. I'm a mother. It is disgusting seeing that. And Candace was trying to defend it. That's her thought process. All this because she thinks this is a PR. She feels like this is just a PR stunt for me. This is all fun and games for me. This is just a show. It's to get views. I'm the #1 podcaster. Even if it means her selling her soul and putting her 16-year-old daughter in the room with Andrew Tate alone. I want the candy ass cult members to think about that. What you sow shall you reap. Why would you co-sign evil like this? Most of them probably looking at 16-year-olds, the candy ass cult members. Because you all are sitting here excited about looking at 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders in yearbook photos. You disgusting fucks. It's gross. These are children. Candace is sitting here posting them up in the show for what? We don't need to see how any of these kids look or who they are or what she went to daycare. And you seen your pedo group cult members after this pet, and then they're going to be stalking these schools. For what? You sit here and talk about trafficking. You're opening the door for that. Candace is the black female version of Ghislaine Maxwell. You can kiss my ass, Candace. I will never care how you feel. I want you to know that. Let's pull up, because I don't know if Ami did a new video or not. Let's see. Ooh, child. I'm a mom, and you can't tell me seeing her defend that. You know, that's somehow okay. Oh, Ami got a new video, y'all. We gotta watch it. We gotta watch.
Turning our attention.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Who child? Y'all ready? We gotta end it on a. We want to get some laughter out of this, okay? I want to thank you all so much for tuning in as well. I see the candy asses are silent. You know, because most of them probably don't care about a 16-year-old being left behind with Andrew Tate. Y'all mighty quiet. Y'all mighty quiet. She's sitting here talking about Lord Farquaad and you can't make this up. Lord Farmer, Baroness Farmer. Yeah, what's Kayla? Baroness Farmer. Tell George to come out that damn closet. At some point, they're gonna ship this teenage daughter off to Andrew Tate, and that's gonna be the end of that. Can't make this up. Y'all ready for some Ami? Shout out to Ami. He's my boyfriend in this lifetime or the next one. I don't know. But we love him here in the LLC, and we need a good laugh. So this is Ami doing his impression of Donald Trump, state of the woke right. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
To these people on the woke right who tried to swoop in and take over the MAGA movement, if you can believe it. The frauds, the grifters, the parasites who tried to swoop in and take over a beautiful movement. A beautiful movement. MAGA, my movement. They hate Trump. They hate Trump. But they're not doing very well. They're not doing well at all. Actually, they're not doing well. Wait
a minute. Is he playing the audio or is he actually nailing the impression? Is he nailing the impression? Y'all, can't tell the difference. If you close your eyes and you listen to this, you would think he's playing the audio version of Trump himself. You can't make this up. This is so good.
Turning our attention to these people on the woke right who tried to swoop in and take over the MAGA movement, if you can believe it. The frauds, the grifters, the parasites who tried to swoop in and take over a beautiful movement. A beautiful movement. MAGA, my movement. They hate Trump. They hate Trump. But they're not doing very well. They're not doing well at all. Actually, they're not doing well. We have some new people who tried to join, tried to get in on it. They tried. Carrie Brigitte Baller. This Carrie Brigitte Baller. She's hot, but she's dumb. Dumb as a doorknob. So dumb. So dumb. She thought she could use the whole Catholic anti-Zionist thing, which is a new trendy thing on the woke right. She thought she could get in on that. She's late to the party. She thinks she could put on some glasses and look like an intellectual. And I know this person. She thinks she could come across as smart, but the truth is, it's very transparent. She's a clout chaser. She's chasing so much clout. She's got a body and a face that's a 10, but that's also her IQ. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. If she wants to go on Candace Owens' show, she should just ask her. Just DM the booker. They're desperate for guests. And speaking of which, you have this Candace Owens, my God, nasty woman. Such a nasty person. Really nasty. Psycho bitch. Unbelievable, this person. Can you believe it? You've never seen anything like it. A total parasite going from movement to movement, from left to right to left. She doesn't know what she is, but she knows that she loves the clicks and the clout so badly. And for all of those who were on that Candace train, I know you're regretting it. I know you are. That's okay. You can redeem yourselves. Get off that train fast because it's heading towards a cliff. It's already there. It's off the cliff. It's off the reservation. Crazy psycho bitch energy. And she's vengeful and resentful. And this is a losing battle. And we know it. I say keep going. Keep going. And we'll see where that ends up. It's not going to be a good place. It's not going to be a good place. Gone after Israel, the Jews, now widows, anyone in her path. I mean, it's crazy. It's like crazy people.
This is so good.
Crazy. I'm sure Megyn Kelly is really regretting her decision to defend this person.
She's not.
She's regretting it. We know she's regretting it. There's probably blood coming.
Megyn Kelly, you are a whole coward and a half. You're a whole coward. I just want to make sure I'm clear on my stance with that. Megyn Kelly, that fake Officer Tatum clown, you cowards. You would think they would grow a spine. Megyn Kelly have just as many subs as Candace have. And yet she acts like Candace has some dirt on her. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Y'all army is nailing this. Oh, this is so good.
Out of her ears, blood coming out of everywhere. That's the truth. I remember that. And it's probably happening again. She could redeem herself if she wants to. She's got to apologize.
No,
she really has to apologize. She's done a terrible disservice to her reputation. Terrible disservice. She's losing all that credibility, and we all know it. You all know it. You got Fuentes, who sounds like an illegal immigrant. Fuentes, I don't know what that is. Who would have thought the biggest white supremacist in this country would be Hispanic, if you could believe that? Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, and Cavicular. Just say you're gay. Honestly, just say you're gay. You can come out. Candace's husband, George, will be happy to hear that. He'll be happy. Myron Gaines, change it to Myron Gaze. Say you're gay. It's fun. Come out of that closet that you're streaming from. All your angry rants. He's so angry, this guy. So angry. Tucker Carlson, I brought him into the Oval Office. I gave him a little patch. I gave him a little spanking because he's obsessed with Israel. He's obsessed with the Jews. He's claiming Bibi's got a hold on me. I think Bibi's got a hold on him. He can't stop talking about it. This guy, can you believe that? Can't stop talking about it. He's obsessed. He's obsessed. I'm not obsessed. We're doing just fine. We're doing great. We have a great partnership, a great relationship with Israel. Tucker's got a problem. I don't know what his agenda is. He's just confusing everybody, saying a whole bunch of nonsense. He's kooky, very kooky with that demonic laugh. He's laughing like a crazy demon. I know he had some trauma with that demon. I know the demon did things to him. He claims the demon did things. And can you believe that? The demon clawed him up and scratched him up. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was Clavicular who did that. We don't know. Very confusing a lot of Americans, turning people against me. I don't like that. Turning people against themselves.
Tucker Carlson claimed the demon did something to him? What the hell? Are you serious? Yeah, I don't listen to Tucker Carlson. I can't get past the Mickey Mouse-esque voice. It's so weird. It's like when he gets excited, he turns straight into Mickey Mouse. Can't make this up. Yeah, he said a demon did something to him. This is priceless. Candace, you suck ass.
I don't like that. He's a divisive, horrible person, really. He's very disingenuous. He asks a lot of questions because he claims he doesn't know anything, and he's playing a really nasty game. Nasty game. He talked to Mike Huckabee, who's a great guy, doing great things for me, and he was playing a game the whole time. You could see it. He wasn't asking questions at all. He was doing pure manipulations, horrible manipulations. We don't need that in our country. We need honest players. We need honest, truthful people who are seeking the truth. We don't need people who are trying to distort it. Tucker's getting a spanking from me. I'll be the demon he sees in his sleep from now on. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. And all of these other people, the isolationists who are putting out their takes online, guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It doesn't affect policy at all. It's completely irrelevant. God bless you if it helps you build your audiences. Keep going. Great. It builds your online audiences. At the end of the day, doesn't do jack shit for policy. So that's okay with me. We make our decisions based on the best interests of these United States, because we care about these United States. These people care about their online audiences. I understand that. They have to do what they have to do, but they're full of hypocrisy and double standards, and a lot of them are thrown down on the Candace Owens train, and boy, that's going to damage their integrity and credibility, and we know that. And we know that. That's okay. And that's the current state of the woke right. It's not doing very well. You have all these people who try to use anti-Semitism, anti-Westernism, anti-Americanism, anti-MAGA. They try to take it over for their own clicks and clout and gains and self-aggrandizement. But the audiences, they see through that in the long run. So they may have short-term gains, but it's going to be long-term losses, the likes of which you've never seen. Long-term losses. And it's going to take some courage to stand up to it. But I think as Americans, as proud Americans who care about our country, who care about the West, who care about the values that we stand for, that we can confront it, stand up to it. We're going to do that. And the Democrats sitting over here, these people are crazy and really crazy. And guess what? While there's all this infighting going on, being stoked by these woke right people, they're going to walk away with political victories. I can tell you that. They're going to walk away with it. And you'll find yourself in a left-wing hell, and you wonder why it happened. It's because you didn't stand up to the bad people on your own side, so to speak. They're not even on your side. Guess what? They're on the same side as these crazy Democrats because they're going to get them elected all the same. So don't let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen.
Spot on.
We're not going to let that happen in this great country, the United States of America.
Oh no! Oh my God! Oh, that's so good. Ami, I love you so much. Mama's so proud of you, Ami. That was so good, y'all. That was spot on. Oh my God. Mister, I think I had words with her on X.com today. Yeah, I ended up going in. What's this clown named Billy? He got so mad. I told him I have a show to do. I'll come back and finish you off later. Yeah, I've been on it on X.com today. Oh, I went in this clown. He was so mad. I'm posting up photos saying Candace is a demon because they all mad. They're so triggered by that. I was like, add me to the list of people that all the people that accuse of it's a coordinated attack if they're calling Candace a demon. No, she's just a demon. She said she's an alien. You got mad when we went with that. Now we say she's a demon and somehow it's coordinated attack. No, she's just a dumb demon from hell. Or a dumb alien demon from hell. Whatever. That is what it is. But yet, the candy asses are losing their mind on X, and their whole defense is the same thing over and over again. While none of these morons understand what defamation is. So they can find out our way in court. Who cares? Megyn Kelly is certainly not going to teach them anything as a former litigator. Oh, you clown. Yeah, when I say I've been going in over here. They're so mad at me. Oh, Lord have mercy. Global Globe. Y'all, Candace said Global Globe. She thinks she should be nominated for a Global Award. Not the Golden Globe. No, the Global Globe. Oh, I've been going in. Oh, this is something else. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We've had a lot of fun. Shout out to MilkBarTV. Thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out with us, Milk Bar. Oh my God. That's something else. I mean, just the idea that, yeah, Billiam is still going in. Look at this. I told you all, look, Billiam is he's still trying. I told him, look, Mama will be back. He called me, and he said I'm racist. Like I owe Candace something. Candace, you can kiss my ass. Tell your cult members I care less how they feel. Yeah, I told him I would be back. I said, listen, I'll be back. I got a show to do. And I'm going to come back and crack more jokes on your ass later. I will deliver on that. Billy, heads up. He's still a moron. Yeah, he's still replying to me after I told him I'd be back. You can't make this up. These people are weird. Shout out to all of you all. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to go live and finish up the video we were doing on Marianne Lorient. Oh, child, that's another clown. She's catching it. And I appreciate all of you. Hit the like button. Leave me your thoughts and comments below. Candy ass cult members, you can still kick rocks. You all know that. And every time you come in my chat, you come at your own merit. All right. So thank y'all. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Yes, Catherine, I know. He had to leave a little early, but we didn't miss too much without him. But we'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll go live again with the dumb cult leader. Candace, you're gross. Stop putting up pictures of children from yearbooks in your videos. It's stupid. You wouldn't want your kids to land in somebody else's videos in your books. So the same way you wouldn't want that to happen with your 4 children, don't do that to somebody else's kids. You're an idiot. All right. Yeah, thank y'all so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Hit the like button. I want to thank all of you all for the memberships. Wyoming Gal gifted 5 LLC memberships. Shout out to my mods, y'all. Melinda gifted 5 LLC memberships. Shout out to my mod Laura for becoming a 10-month member. Thank you, MT, for the $1.99 super. Oh my God, I can't believe I missed MilkBarTV. You guys, make sure you check out the replay of this. And MTX again with the $4.99 super. LLC, can you find out if Milk Bar has an email for people to send him content? Yes. And I will let him know if you want. Email me at ladyluckclubllc@yahoo.com. MT, email me, and then if he gives me the approval, I'll forward over or just include you in an email with him, and then you can take it from there. So email me at ladyluckclubllc@yahoo.com. And let's do it that way, because I don't want to put his email address out there if he don't really want it out there. I don't know how he feels about that, but I have no problem making sure you connect with him. He is a great guy, and we had a ton of fun. All right. Y'all be good. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.